subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Who is average in all aspects, keep up with the growth of her companions? Niji's Byakugan and Gentle Fist, Lee's effort, and 8 inner gates. Think about it. Her direction. Where is her unique promotion direction? Shikamaru was hit by Temari, one of the 3 Sand Ninja siblings. Sand Shinobi Village will not lose, Temari said with a smile. I will definitely not let you Konoha take the spotlight. Shikamaru had a troubled expression on his face, thinking that he didn't seem to be familiar with this Sand Ninja woman. Don't put the familiar relationship in the video here. Really, women are so troublesome. Not only Temari, Kankuro and Gaara also have the idea of becoming stronger. Especially Gaara, after seeing the video. He once felt that his relationship with Shikaku was so powerful that it was far stronger than ordinary Genin. But he realized that he was far from enough compared to the future ceiling of the ninja world's combat power. At least in the video, Killer Bee from 8 Tails and Naruto from 9 Tails can become friends with their own tail beasts, reaching the level of perfect Jinchuriki. Not only did they possess powerful power, but they also completely got rid of loneliness and became the most special combination in the world, where one person is a 2-person team. I won't degenerate like 8 Tails and 9 Tails. I don't like a brat like you at all. Staying here makes me sick to death. Disgusting. A sharp voice suddenly appeared in Gaara's head. It was Shikaku jumping around in his head. Gaara thought for a while. Then I asked Mito Uzumaki to help me seal you with the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan. As long as you are like 9 Tails and sleep in a cage all the time, you won't feel uncomfortable. Shikaku's voice suddenly paused, and then he yelled even more irritably and loudly. You dare to seal me? I will eat you. Laozi wants to go to your consciousness. Non-stop killing. Damn it. Gaara, without level 10 mouth release. How can I communicate with my tailed beast in a friendly manner? Too difficult. Do you want to rap for tailed beasts like Killer Bee from 8 Tails Jinchuriki? I feel like I can't learn it. A group of young girls who have watched the video and strengthened their sense of mission and responsibility, carrying the future on his back and staying away from the ending line in the image. Xia found and implemented his own way of ninja and accelerated his progress. Soon they will know that the enemy they face may be more powerful and difficult to deal with than the enemies in this ending line. After this night, there are only 2 days left before the 5 Shadows Conference. According to the news from the ninjas guarding the border of the Land of Fire, the fastest Sand Shinobi Village representatives have been in the Land of Fire for some time, and, as expected, they will arrive in Konoha 1 day early. The most important thing is that their trip brought news of the death of 4th Kazekage. And here comes a very remarkable man. Chapter 150, Uzumaki Naruto's Knot. Sand Shinobi missed Shinobi visits Konoha. Tonight, Uchiha's apartment seemed to have just the addition of a silent Uzumaki Naruto. But in fact, this apartment is really lively. First, there is the mother and son duo of Uchiha Makoto and Uchiha Sasuke. Then there were 2 crows standing on the balcony of Sasuke's apartment. Naruto was still in a low mood, so he went to his little shabby room, grabbed a pair of pajamas, and came with his little nightcap. Behind him was his old father whom no one could see 4th Hokage Namake's Minato. Excuse me. Naruto half closed his eyes. His originally low mood was healed a lot when he saw the warm orange light and Aunt Mikoto's gentle smile. Uchiha Makoto went to the utility room to look for photos of himself, Fugaku, Kushina, and Minato. Sasuke pressed Naruto's forehead, intending to share the images recorded by Sharingan to Naruto in the form of hallucinations. Look into my eyes. When Naruto raised his eyelids, Sasuke immediately stared out 3 Tomo Sharingan. Before he could convey that part of the image to Naruto, he found that he was in a strange place, as if he was under an illusion. Dark, gloomy, damp, the stagnant water covered half of his calf, and the dark golden environment was like a sewer. Liquid leaked from nowhere and fell into the stagnant water drop by drop. Roar! A beast roared. and the rising wind blew Sasuke's hair back. Sasuke was shocked. What on earth is it? Oh, it's the kid from the Uchiha family. He actually activated 3 Tomo Sharingan at this time. It's not simple 08. That low humming noise. He had heard it. Once in a video. Once when Naruto was controlled by 9 tails to move the slot machine lever. 9 tails. You are 9 tails. That's right. Evil Uchiha. Come here. Let me kill you. The same voice, but a more sinister tone. When this sound appears, the red translucent chakra that appears on the surrounding walls carries a sense of terrifying evil. Sasuke was shocked. What the hell is going on? Could it be that Nine Tails still has a dual personality? Moving step by step in the direction of the sound, this dark golden sewer never stopped dripping. Like the rainy season in May, the rain is not very heavy, but it is pattering, which makes them feel their loneliness and sadness. This is the season that Sasuke hates the most. He feels that it is better to have a heavy rainstorm. Even if it is short-lived, it can wash away all the worries. After walking unconsciously for a while, Sasuke finally saw the huge golden cage and 2 giant 9 tails demon foxes inside. Although 10 tails in the image is larger, it is all in the image after all. Due to the size of the image, they cannot feel the true size of 10 tails, which exceeds 1,000 meters. But the 2 9 tails right in front of him were so big that they could pin him to the ground with just one slap. 9 tails, too. Why are there 2 9 tails? Kurama poked his eyes and smiled. You are wrong. If you calculate it like this, there should be 3, and there is 1 more in the 4th generation. Who cares about this? Compared with a few 9 tails, Sasuke wanted to know what happened to Naruto and how he suddenly came here. Where is this? Why can you control Naruto's body? Is a seal loose? Young 9 tails. Sensitive Uchiha? Kufufufu. Are you so concerned about Uzumaki Naruto's life and death? But these are meaningless. If you are that person's chakra reincarnation, sooner or later, you will definitely choose to kill him. Kill Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke was so shocked by Nine Tails' words that he was almost speechless. Kurama, who knew that Indra and Ashura's obsessions would eventually reconcile with Sasuke and Naruto, said, "This will all happen in the future. You'd better pay attention to Naruto's situation now. After all, starting from this Chunin exam, here the future is so confusing that even I can't see clearly. Naruto. Where the hell is this? How is Naruto? This is the deep heart of Uzumaki Naruto, and the place where the 4th generation has sealed me." Kurama said, "You can get out of here soon, but before that, help me keep an eye on that idiot Jinchuriki. After all is yours." When exiting that strange place, Sasuke vaguely heard the word brother. Returning to reality, Sasuke saw that Naruto's state must have been successfully affected by an illusion, and he entered the movie viewing content he arranged. Lifeless blue eyes, with 2 lines of stupid and low tears. Sasuke couldn't help but stretched out 2 fingers to imitate Itachi and wanted to poke Naruto's forehead. Crow weasel. But luckily it stopped at the last moment. Let Naruto read the images in the Genjutsu quietly. That's great. Naruto wiped his tears randomly after coming out of the illusion. My mother is a beauty. Puffed. Sasuke almost squirted water. Is that all you have to say? Are you the one who's at the end of the crane, and you're naturally stupid? Naruto was unconvinced. What's wrong? Isn't it possible? Yeah, it's not impossible. Anyway, Naruto's expression was a little awkward. Anyway, in the memory of 4th Hokage, my mother lived a very happy life. Just look at it. Yes, that's good. In fact, after knowing the truth, what he was most worried about was the cause of Kushina's death and her situation in Konoha. After seeing Gaara's mother and Xianglong's mother, Naruto was really worried that Kushina's situation was not optimistic either. But when he saw the 4th Hokage seeing little Sakura beating him in the 4th Ninja War, and thinking of his mother going crazy, Naruto was quite happy, because he knew that his mother must live a happy life. Although I feel sorry for Xiangling and Gaara for thinking this way, it's great that his mother can be with his father. Naruto's condition suddenly improved a lot. Sasuke didn't expect that the short video he recorded would help Naruto, so much. Of course, he didn't know what Naruto was thinking, but there was nothing, so he had no way of knowing that the missing image would be enough to redeem his biggest worry. Naruto recalled the image of the Ichiraku ramen shop, where the fourth Hokage happily hugged a pregnant red-haired beauty. His mother also looked very happy, so he was also blessed to come into this world, right? If that horror question and answer could hear his thoughts, he really wanted to take a look. Like Gaara, look at what Uzumaki Naruto looked like when he was born. Let him see. Are his parents also looking forward to his birth? Sorry, Naruto-kun, Sasuke, did I disturb you? Uchiha Mikoto's voice appeared at the door of the living room. After searching for a long time, I only found one photo. Mikoto took a photo album, turned to one of the pages, pointed at a girl with long red hair who looked very energetic, and said, "Sorry, Naruto-kun, I only found photos of your mother when she was a child." This is... Naruto opened his eyes wide and looked at the girl in the photo wearing a yellow kunoichi uniform. A Chunin certificate was held high above her head, and her bright smile made people feel happy. Is my mother a ninja too? Of course, Minato and I were classmates. Mikoto recalled that there were many happy and interesting things in those days. Kushina often beat boys who said bad things about her to half to death. It was very fierce. Huh, little Sakura is like that too. But Kushina will only be gentle to Minato, and of course she will be very kind to her friends. Then seemed to recall something. Mikoto smiled helplessly. But she never seems to like Fugaka's senpai very much. Every time, give him a good look. Sasuke. Father. I accidentally used my premarital title. Mikoto changed the topic and asked Naruto, speaking of which, when Kushina and Minato were not together, they often told me. Naruto. What did you say? What did you say? Namake's Minato quietly perked up her ears and leaned closer. At that time, Kushina thought Minato was a very unreliable boy who looked like a transvestite. How could such a person become a Hokage? Naruto's blue eyes were wide, and he almost didn't realize what Aunt Mikoto said. Even Sasuke looked shocked. That fourth Hokage. Fake. Should I say that she really deserves to be Naruto's mother? It's so insincere that I'll die. After realizing what the transvestite meant, Naruto first let out a poof, then hugged his belly and laughed without any image. Ha. Fourth Hokage. That four-self Hokage. Transvestite. Ha. The fourth Hokuso girl, 813 Namake's Minato, who is here right now, has a pale background and dead eyes. It's too much Kushina. It's too much Mikoto-kun. Namake's Minato looked at his son's messy smile and wished he could lie on the ground. He suddenly felt that the image of his old father was completely gone in his son's heart. Wu Siyuan was so depressed that his whole soul turned pale. But at least Naruto regained his energy. Next, all the Genin who were practicing hard for the third Chunin exam, and the Genin who were always on standby, waited all day long. Thanks to Kurama's help, Uzumaki's training seemed to be broken. Naruto stood on Gamabunta's head and tried strange postures, movements, seals, and passwords, but failed to summon the remaining 8 image cards. Come out. If it was said that he was very concerned about the exposure of his childhood in horror questions and answers. Now he is looking forward to seeing various images of himself when he was born or of his parents when they were young. Uchiha Sasuke practices 3 Tomo Sharingan on his own under the prompts of Uchiha Mikoto. The original mentors assigned to him by second Hokage were Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Shisui, and Uchiha Itachi. The third Hokage has released Itachi as a traitor and ended his long-term undercover mission in the Akatsuki organization. But Itachi's body was far away after all, so Uchiha Shisui and Kakashi were ordered to go to Rain Shinobi Village to pick Uchiha Itachi back to the village. So for now, Sasuke is anxious, but he can only watch Naruto's training speed increasing by leaps and bounds. Due to her later growth in the video, little Sakura has obtained higher-level borrowing rights for books and scrolls. Academic performance is little Sakura's biggest advantage. In terms of learning, even Uchiha, who has always maintained the first place in ninja school's overall score, is ashamed to be a desk clerk. During the day, the 3 of them practiced as usual. He didn't walk from the training ground to the residential area until the moon rose and set. Several strangers wearing Sand Shinobi Forehead Protector and Miss Shinobi Forehead Protector made them wary. To be precise, one of these people still has an acquaintance. Chapter 151 Encounter on a Narrow Road. Pain. Itachi, you really betrayed the organization. Seeing is better than hearing. Hello, Uzumaki Naruto. The person who spoke was an eldest sister from Kirigakure. She was wearing an aqua blue skirt. Her thick, bright brown hair covered half of her face. Her half-opened emerald green eyes and pink lips revealed the charm of a beautiful woman. Sister, who are you? Naruto asked, squinting his eyes stupidly. Little Sakura. Idiot. Didn't you see it in the previous video? The future, 5th Mizukage. Oh, 5th Mizukage. Naruto looked uninterested, but little did he know that Sasuke and the Umbu who were responsible for protecting them were secretly on guard. After all, these are people with Subkage level strength. Naruto's identity has been exposed. Those who had a grudge against Konoha's Golden Flash in the Third Ninja War may not necessarily let Naruto go. You three brats are still like this, why? Didn't that Sharingan Kakashi follow you? The person who suddenly spoke was a tall man behind Terumi Mei. Most of his body was covered by a bamboo hat. So at first Naruto and the others ignored this man and only focused on the future 5th Mizukage. But when this person spoke, Naruto, Sasuke, and little Sakura were all shocked. Naruto pointed at the other person and yelled, "It's you, little Sakura." Sasuke, Momochi, Zabuza. Zabuza took off his bamboo hat, revealing a face familiar to the three of them. Thank you for remembering me, but it really hasn't been too long. Zabuza looked at Uzumaki Naruto. I didn't expect that your boy is actually the golden, shining son of Konoha. At the mention of this, Naruto, who had finally regained his energy, suddenly wilted like waterlogged cabbage. Hey, what are you depressed about, you brat? Zabuza doesn't understand. What's there to be depressed about having such a cool dad? Isn't it just that the past was miserable? Shiro is about the same. It's nothing, Naruto said calmly. You must be sad too. Only you were resurrected, but Shiro was not. This statement is a bit direct to the heart. Zabuza didn't have time to go to the land of waves to get his own sword. Otherwise, he would have killed him directly. In fact, Naruto didn't mean to ridicule Zabuza, but actually felt sorry for him. When he was in Wave Country, Haku and Zabuza's deaths allowed him to establish his own ninja way. Let him understand that the adult world is not necessarily simple, nor is it all beautiful. It even made him feel that the pain he felt was just a very small point in this vast world. Teacher Kakashi was not here at this time, and Haruno Sakura was still a little afraid that Zabuza would suddenly attack. She made a defensive gesture and asked, "Why are you vomiting?" Zabuza didn't say anything. The person who explained to him was Terumi Mei. You all know that Zabuza is a traitor to the ninja. He once attempted to cause a coup, mainly because he was dissatisfied with the tyranny of Mizukage. Ao next to him continued. Zabuza was resurrected as a reward for Chojuro answering the question correctly. It would be too dangerous to stay in Kirigakure. So Chojuro made a judgment, covered Zabuza, and left the village, and caught up with him when he came to Konoha to participate in the Five Shadows Talk to Us. At this moment, Second Hokage, Senju Tobarama's voice suddenly came from behind Naruto. I probably already know the situation in Kirigakure. The fact that Three Tails, Jinchuriki, and 4th Mizukage were controlled is probably not false. In this Five Shadows meeting, I will share some information about the Masked Man is known. Senju Tobarama didn't finish his sentence. The situation of Uchiha Obito is more complicated, excluding the part after he was deceived and used by Madara, or if he had not been deceived and used by Uchiha Madara. This young man with the Hokage dream should not have ended up like this. Senju Tobarama is thinking of arranging for someone to take Kirigakure and Sunegakure's people to the Konoha guest house to rest and wait for the 5 Kage conference the day after tomorrow. But that little girl from Kirigakure is really... Senju Tobarama has a black line on his face. What kind of look is that? It's so weird. Ao has the same black line on his face as Senju Tobarama. In fact, the moment Terumi Mei saw Senju Tobarama appear, Her eyes were already fixed, and the words, "good man," flooded the screen in her heart. At this time, Terumi Mei's heart. Although she looked a little greener in age, she is still very good overall. Active water, attribute chakra. She also looks very rational and handsome. She is the type she likes. Can be listed as a marriage partner among the candidates. Senju Tobirama sighed. Little girl, put away your strange thoughts. I am talking to you about business. The self-proclaimed old man. Terumi Mei lifted her long hair and smiled. Wouldn't it be inappropriate for you, little brother? Are you older than Zabuza? Umbu, who has been waiting nearby. Another one calling second generation's little brother. I want to laugh, but we are excellent Umbu and have received professional training. No matter how funny it is, we will never laugh. Ao and Zabuza is standing next to Terumi Mei. If you want to stay away from this woman, it's best to pretend that you don't know her. Representative Sunagake, you're on the side. Just pretend we don't exist. Thank you. Regarding the face of his ninja village, Ao leaned close to Terumi Yin and told him quietly, this person is second Hokage, Senju Tobirama. Terumi Mei looked at King, then at second Hokage, and then at the Hokage rock in the distance. She couldn't react, but someone quickly answered the call for her. It seems that you're also one of the people resurrected by the horror question. The speaker was a red-haired man from Sunagakure. He said, I think Konoha already knows the news of the death of 4th Kazekage. I am the representative of Shisui Ninja Akasa. Like you, is also an undead resurrected by the horror question. Senju Tobirama raised his eyes. Akasha. I have never heard of this person. Akasaka didn't mind. He explained, I died in the Second Ninja War. Speaking of which, I was slightly inferior in the battle with Konoha. I died at the hands of Konoha's White Fang together with my wife. Naruto, where have you heard the name Konoha's White Fang before? Sasuke also felt familiar. Konoha's White Fang. Little Sakura thought for a moment and finally remembered. Wasn't the ninja sword Naruto got in the first quiz question from Konoha's White Fang? The name of Konoha's White Fang seems to be Hitaki Tsukumo. Hitaki. That means Kakashi-sensei's father. Uchiha in the Kamui space looked shocked. He never expected that the representative of Sunagakure, the country of wind, who came to Konoha this time, was actually him. Akatsuki Organization, J-Girl, the father of Red Sand Scorpion. What Uchiha Obito didn't expect was that Nagato/Pin and Konin had also arrived in the Land of Fire. And from the route, we are about to meet Hitaki Kakashi and Uchiha Shisui, the crow Uchiha Itachi. On Konoha's side, arranged for ninjas to take Sand Shinobi Village representatives and Kirigakure representatives to Konoha Guest House, respectively. Senju Tobirama stopped Naruto and asked about the 8 image cards. This was what made Naruto depressed. He tried for a day, expecting to see the image of his birth in the past later, but no matter what, the 8 cards just didn't appear. If it weren't for the resurrectors who were rewarded before, they would almost suspect that the horrible questions and answers had never appeared. By the way, Naruto, Senju Tobirama said, is there a way for me to talk to the Kurama in your body? Naruto was stunned and was about to ask who Kurama was when he suddenly remembered the huge fox in his body. Kurama is 9 tails. Let him fist bump with you, Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto suddenly heard the voice of the 9 tailed beast. It was Kurama, who was resurrected not long ago. A fist bump. Naruto was confused, but he still extended his fist towards second Hokage. Second Hokage was stunned at first, and then he remembered that during the 4th Ninja War, as long as he bumped fists with Naruto, the 9 tails in 4th Hokage and Naruto could communicate with each other, colliding his fist with Naruto's. In an instant, he came to the place where 2 9-tailed beasts were imprisoned. Passing through the dark tunnel that looked like a sewer, we came to the dark golden cage. Even Senju Tobirama was stunned by the situation of 2 9-tails being held in a cage. One of you was resurrected by the horror question. Kurama yawned. You know what you're asking, so tell me if you have anything to do. I'm going to have to sleep in my cage again. Senju Tobirama. How did you die? Senju Tobirama asked the question he was most worried about. Did that Uchiha Sasuke choose to fight Naruto in the end? After the explanation of Sage of Six Paths, they all know that Uzumaki Senju Hashirama is the chakra reincarnation of Ashura, the second son of Six Paths, and Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha are both the chakra reincarnation of Indra, the eldest son of Sage of Six Paths Ashura, and Indra, Senju Hashirama, and Uchiha Madara. Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke are bound to have a fierce battle. Ashura and Senju Hashirama gained the power of the Sage of Six Paths and became the ultimate victors. But in the generation of Naruto and Sasuke, the Sage of Six Paths chose to divide the power into two, giving one share to each of the chakra reincarnations of the two sons. So it's hard to say who will win in this battle between Naruto and Sasuke. According to the information known to Senju Tobirama, it is possible to kill Nine Tails and possibly even Naruto. Only Uchiha Sasuke. Although Naruto and Sasuke did have a fierce fight afterwards, the two finally reconciled, ending the 1,000-year struggle between Indra and the Ashura third generation. Senju Tobirama. Then why did you die? It can't be Naruto's death, right? If it weren't for Uchiha Sasuke, who had the same power as the ceiling of the ninja world, he really couldn't think of any power that could kill Uzumaki Naruto other than dying. Opposite Senju Tobirama, Kurama was silent for a moment as he thought of Tsutsuki Momoshiki, Tsutsuki Isuki, and more Tsutsuki clan that may appear in the future. In addition to Black Zetsu, there is also a power no less powerful than Tsutsuki Kagaya hidden on this planet, and the Tsutsuki clan is not the only one in the Tsutsuki family. Teriyuruchi is not alone. Senju Tobirama was immediately surprised by Kurama's words. What level of enemies will Naruto and the others encounter in the future? My death was not all because those enemies were too strong, Kurama suddenly said. Anyway, the situation is complicated. I didn't think about it before, but I thought about it a lot during the period after I was resurrected here. What? It's not clear yet, but ever since Naruto and Sasuke's almost devastating reconciliation battle, the whole world has become a little weird. Something's wrong? Senju Tobirama didn't understand what Kurama meant. Kurama seemed to have remembered something, frowned, and bared his teeth. I can't explain it in 1 or 2 sentences. In short, this is what happened, but it will only happen in 10 or 20 years. Thinking of the day before yesterday, he controlled Naruto's body and pressed the lever of the slot machine. Then he wiped out the Black Zetsu incident. After, Ma Zhao was happy. It always felt that this was a bit incredible. Especially since then, the sudden disappearance of the death question, which had always been elusive but never broke its promise, also caused them all to lose control in a subtle way. And even, there is a sense of calm before the storm. After that, Senju Tobirama left Naruto's deep psychology. Until the next day, the 8 images and 8 influence cards that were supposed to continue still did not appear. However, the 4th Raikage AI of Cloud Shinobi Village and his brother 8 Tails, Tailed Beast Killer Bee, and others have arrived in Konoha. Following closely, Tsuchika Jinoki and his Hokage escorts also arrived. And Konin, who had just made a big tree with the papermaker technique of God, hid his body and Nagato in it, and continued on his way with the paper clone in pain. He rushed to Ichinokuni from Konoha with a group of Konoha shinobi meet. Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Shisui, and a crow behind them. We finally met on overlapping routes. Kakashi never expected to meet the man who destroyed Konoha in the video. Uchiha Shisui, as a person who was resurrected, did not know the situation of this orange-haired man, let alone that he was in the image and destroyed the entire Konoha with just one blow. But its serious Rinnegan Shisui is clear, and Itachi's reaction. He immediately tensed up when he saw the two of them. The atmosphere suddenly seemed solemn. The wind blew the fallen leaves, and they stared at each other for a while. But it was Pain who started first. As expected, you betrayed the organization. Itachi. Chapter 152, A New Horror Quiz, is here. When gods fight, mortals suffer. Kakashi. You are, Pain said without any fluctuations in his expression or voice. Hatake Kakashi, you probably have never seen me except in the video. Let me introduce myself. I am Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki organization and the god who saves the world. Shisui paused for a moment, but still couldn't help complaining. I heard that you're only the second in command at best. Isn't that masked man the real leader behind the scenes? Conan, you guy. Pain raised his hand to stop Conan, looked at Uchiha Shisui, and said, Shisui, it was a pity that your eyes were gouged out by Danzo back then, and there was also an Uchiha clan that could cause a coup at any time. If you hadn't died young, you would have it will make a difference. Itachi reminded Kakashi and Shisui with Jinjutsu, don't fight him head on. Pain is extremely strong, especially with Rinnegan. Even Manjiki Sharingan's Jinjutsu is meaningless to him. Illusion expert Uchiha Shisui frowned after hearing that Jinjutsu was of no use to Pain. Itachi continued. First ask about the purpose of their trip and send the information back to Konoha. Kakashi, it's great to hear you defending Konoha so much at this moment, but Pain has already attacked. The three of them suddenly left Itachi's illusion space. It was Uchiha Itachi who was in Rinnegan 460's Gazing Crow form and forcibly broke the illusion. Itachi. Shisui looked at him. He was worried about the illusion being forcibly broken. Itachi's true form. Sure enough, the crow flew away, and it seemed that Itachi had even broken through this illusion. Pain took a step forward, looked at Kakashi and Uchiha Shisui, and said, Uchiha Shisui, I have seen your pain in the image. If it hadn't been confirmed that Itachi had betrayed the organization, we would have welcomed you to join. Only those who know enough about pain will understand the value of peace. The pain now is just to let the world understand peace. Kakashi had to interrupt the god's speech. I really don't understand, since you already know that you are just being used by the masked man. Why do you do this for him? Do you have any grudge against Konoha? Conan glanced at Pain. In fact, she saw Nagato through Pain, and now she is the only one who knows the hatred between Nagato and Konoha. Pain. Because we understand and feel pain enough, we in a Fae have the same dreams and ideas. He opened his arms and made a gesture of acceptance, a dream that can only be realized by the great project Suki no Mi. Kakashi doesn't understand how these people have been brainwashed. In the earliest images, the masked man mentioned the eye of the moon. In the eyes of ordinary people, the eye of the moon is nothing more than projecting Tsukuyami onto the moon, allowing everyone to enter the Jinjutsu and be tamed by the beautiful Jinjutsu world so that they have no thoughts of their own. He gestured to Shisui behind him, telling him to go and delay the time himself. A Fae is the masked man, right? What kind of experiences have you had within the word pain has not yet been uttered. Everyone present felt a terrifying coercion. This kind of power was stronger than they had ever experienced. Question different from the scary metallic voice in the past. The voice that said the word problem this time was a nice male voice, but there was an indescribable weirdness in the voice. Maybe ordinary people just instinctively feel that this kind of sound makes people feel uncomfortable. At this moment, they are all A-level ninjas or S-level trader ninjas who have carried out countless thrilling missions and seen all kinds of miserable situations. This voice is the tone of someone who is indifferent to the meaning of life, regards himself as a true god, and is extremely terrifying. Many times, people will classify this kind of sound sick. That's right, it's a very serious morbid condition, and the thinking, logic, and outlook are all far away from human nature. But vaguely, they felt like they had heard this voice somewhere before. But wait first, what is happening? Kakashi made a warning gesture, as did Shisui, Pain, and Conan. He is Kakashi, Shisui, and Pain, Conan, and even Itachi. Uchiha Itachi wearing a red cloud and black robe, Akatsuki uniform. The most important thing is that they suddenly returned to Konoha from the Fire Country near the border in the blink of an eye. The two generations of Hokage, the advisory group, and the newly arrived 4th Raikage and 3rd Suchikage who are currently in the Hokage building feel a strange fluctuation at the same time. Come to the square in front of Konoha Shinobi School. They saw Hatake Kakashi and his party, who were supposed to be at the border between the land of fire and the land of rain. Class 7, who also arrived, was also shocked by this situation. Sasuke saw Uchiha Itachi and shouted regardless, "Brother! Naruto, what the hell is going on?" From the beginning, his chakra has been very unstable, and the Kurama and Yang Nine Tails in his body have also fallen into a deep sleep, telling him to be careful before falling asleep. Question 1 question. 2 voices sounded at the same time. 2 horror questions and answers. What's going on? 2 voices. 10. Are there familiar metallic vocals? Although it was weird and scary, they were used to it. There's another voice. It was exactly what Kakashi and the others had heard before. That sick voice that ignored life and acted as if he were a god higher than human beings. Although the tone is strange, I vaguely feel that the voice is familiar to me. If someone has ever known such a person and possesses such strength, I believe they will never forget it. At this moment, they did not notice the gloomy and livid faces of Senju, Tobirama, and Uzumaki Mido. The 2 of them said at the same time, "Hashirama, that's right." Maybe others will hear it wrong, but the 2 of them are very familiar with this voice. The owner of this voice is none other than someone else. It is the first Hokage, the one with the title of Ninja God. Senju Hashirama. What's going on? Senju Hashirama's younger brother. Senju Tobirama's heart skipped a beat. That ominous premonition has indeed arrived. More and more people come to the gate of Konoha Shinobi School because of curiosity or because combatants are here to wait. This also includes representatives from the 5 major countries, 2 generations of Hokage and his team, 4th Raikage and his party, 3rd Tsuchikage and his team. Kirigakure represents a group of people. Sunagakure represents a group of people. Pain and Konin stared silently at the ninjas from various countries who picked them up. Do you want to fight? Even the people from your 5 hidden villages, everyone was listening to the other party finish his arrogant words. And when they were about to reply, the other party actually stopped mid-sentence. While everyone was looking confused, Pain couldn't notice anything except the red-haired woman crowded in the crowd. Nagato, who controlled Pain far away in the land of rain, took several deep breaths with his haggard body, and then trembled out a word from his chapped lips. Mother. Chapter 153. 2 terrifying questions and answers appeared at the same time. The masked man was dragged out of Kamui's dimension and left to die. Everyone saw that the orange-haired man with the Rinnegan, the leader who destroyed the entire Konohagakure with one blow in the video and was stopped by Akatsuki, walked toward the crowd step by step. The crowd seemed to be avoiding the sharp tide, pushing to both sides. There was only one red-haired woman who was not a Konohagakure ninja. She stared at the pair of Rinnegan and murmured her son's name. Nagato! Konin! She turned her head and looked at the red-haired woman. The color of her hair was indeed exactly the same as Nagato. When they were young, Yahiko was still there, and the 3 of them, after a rare meal, I will quietly talk about my family members. Of course, she had heard of Nagato's mother. In order to protect Nagato, his parents died at the hands of the Konoha Shinobi. Pain. Konin pulled Pain's sleeve and shook his head at him. Be careful of Konoha's deceit. Pain paused, but with this woman here, he would definitely not take it easy. Use Shinra Tensei, Universal Pull, or summoning giant monsters to attack Konoha. When Pain paused, Fuso looked at the man who was obviously Konoha's enemy. To be precise, he stared into his eyes, which were exactly the same as his own son's. Excuse me, do you know a child named Nagato? Just this sentence made Fuso's tears fall, and the ending of her voice was hoarse and trembling. She expected good news, but was afraid she would get bad news. Pain. He doesn't know how to answer this question now. Since Yahiko's death, he has claimed that he was the one who died. After that, he only inherited Yahiko's will and continued to live for Yahiko as Pain to realize the great dream of peace. Is he Nagato still alive? Fuso has seen the previous image, where his son and Uchiha Itachi appeared in impure world reincarnation, which means that at least in the other ending line, his son has died 3 years later. I thought about the question and kept you waiting for a long time. At this moment, the voice with the voice of Senju Hashirama, but the tone and personality are completely different, or the question appeared. Senju Tobarama looked gloomy and waited. Let the other person continue talking. Before this happens, I hope that this guy will stop being secretive and hide his face. Whether it is second Hokage Senju Tobarama or third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Their first reaction was Shimura dance, because currently only that guy is hiding deep in the root. However, they all guessed wrong. The guy caught by the new terror was actually a man. Everyone exclaimed, "Mask Man!" Of course, there are two other titles, respectively from Uchiha Itachi and Konin. Hooligan, Madara. Sasuke was shocked. This person is Uchiha Madara. Is he the reincarnation of his chakra? And the Nobody Man, who fell out of the Kamui space, was in a terrible mood. It's okay to be dragged out by a strange power. Why did he fall into that garbage fake? Under his feet, Kakashi. At other times, Senju Tobarama might have laughed at Uchiha Obito's embarrassment, but at this moment he had no intention of laughing at him, because of the big brother's voice and that vague feeling of uneasiness. They all made second Hokage, who had participated in the Fourth Ninja War and knew the future direction, feel a sense of uncontrollability about the unknown. Of course, the one who felt even more uncontrollable was the masked man Uchiha Obito. He found that he could not go back to Kamui space. Still have no idea about the new scary question and answer. The Konoha village ninjas and the representatives of the 5 villages who have just arrived in Konoha can surround the masked man. Naruto wrinkled his face, and his current state made him confused. What's going on? Why are there 2 voices? Are they all here to post questions and answers? He now wanted to know when his 8 cards would be in place. Unfortunately, after the question about Senju Hashirama's voice appeared, the original horror question seemed to be silenced. Only the sick voice said, "So, the first question, who killed Hatake Kakashi, known as the Konoha technician, in Konohagakure?" Naruto! Exclamation point. Just as he was about to speak, his mouth was covered by many hands and a pile of sand. Isn't it enough to gain wisdom after going through so many hardships? Don't speak out casually when a problem arises. B. Although some people cover Naruto's mouth, more people were ignored. And unlike Naruto, they had already gone through the baptism of horrific questions and answers several times. What? That Kakashi was killed? Are you kidding? In Konoha? Assassination? That's Sharingan's Kakashi. Is this question fake? Hey, don't answer questions casually. Bang, 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 bang. The first group of Konoha shinobi and Konoha villagers who spoke out after asking questions in the morbid Q&A turned into a blood mist, and then those who were frightened by the blood mist screamed. Call! Before the person who screamed could react, he himself turned into mince. The eyes of the 2 generations of Hokages were instantly filled with bloodshot eyes. Their canthus was cracked, and they were speechless. Unlike the horror question, the morbid question really gave them blood. A lesson. At this moment, more than 30 Konoha villagers died. At the same time, under the mask, Uchiha Obito's expression was extremely expressionless at this moment. In any case, he never thought that stupid Kakashi, that stubborn piece of trash, would die. This is what Lin, and he didn't want to see. And he also felt that this time the situation was worse than before. The horror questions and answers were even more beyond his knowledge. Huh? Is there no one to answer the question? Then let me just tell you a few rules. He has Senju Hashirama's voice, but it doesn't fit in with everyone's perception of Senju Hashirama's voice. Rule: first, anyone can answer. There is no reward for correct answers. If you answer incorrectly, you'll be killed. Second, there is no limit to the opportunity until the answer is correct. Everyone looked blank. If you get the wrong answer, you'll be killed. There will be no reward. Who the hell answered this? Senju Tobarama sensed the furthest mark of the Flying Thunder God, which was less than a kilometer outside Konohagakure. Sure enough, is it still the setting that if you don't answer the question, you can't leave normally? Senju Tobarama was extremely upset. Toets, what on earth is this idiot doing? No, it can't be Big Brother. But if it's not Big Brother, who has the same voice as Big Brother. At this time, Senju Tobarama's heart very contradictory. He believes that if it were his elder brother Senju Hashirama as the first Hokage, he would definitely not risk the lives of the Konohagakure villagers for the game. Ja. After closing his eyes, Senju Tobarama said, "Who are you?" Third Hokage, Konoha Advisory Group. Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto. Konoha Shinobi, Konoha villagers. Shadows, or representatives from each village who came to participate in the Five Shadows Conference. These people all looked horrified. In an instant, everyone turned to look at second Hokage, Senju Tobarama, as quickly as possible. Even a new terrifying question and answer caused a moment of shock and pause. Wrong answer. Then bang, a sound. Senju Tobarama was sentenced to death by quiz questions. But there was no blood mist and flesh foam as they expected. Senju Tobarama, who was sentenced to death, turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared on the spot. Someone immediately reacted. It's shadow clone technique. Can shadow clone technique actually evade that rule? Is it because this ninjutsu can temporarily create an independent living body? It's too foul. No, it should be said that second Hokage is too brave. If the object of erasure in the rules setting includes the main body of shadow clone, then wouldn't he? In this regard, Uzumaki Mito also cast a disapproving look at Senju Tobarama. Should we call them brothers? Although unlike Hashirama, Tobarama does not often go to gambling houses. But what's going on with this kind of character that gambles on life at critical moments? The third Hokage, along with several advisors behind him, put their hands on their chests and let out a breath. That moment was so frightening that they would lose 50 years of their life and end up in a coffin. You can actually avoid the rules with Shadow Clone. The voice of Senju Hashirama, but with a weird and sick voice, seems to have a faint smile. He said, "Okay, then just guess them one by one. Consider it a special reward for you." It's so casual. This is everyone's only feeling about this new question. Those who know Senju Tobarama, such as 3rd Hokage Tsurutobi Hiruzen, who was once in the Hokage class, Yuditane Koharu and Mito Kato Hamura from the advisory group, all look at 2nd Hokage, Senju Tobarama, with worry. They knew that Teacher Tobarama was angry, but there was nothing they could do. They also heard that the voice belonged to the 1st Hokage, but it was completely different from the Hashirama-sama they knew, like a misfired tandem paper bombs, ready to explode again at any time. As time passed, there was no question of who killed him. Hatake Kakashi's problem still has no clue. Senju Tobarama has been killed by dozens of Shadow Clone. Even Chisa, whom he had just met and was killed by Kaka's father, Hatake Sakomo, had guessed it. But none of them are correct answers. At this time, Kakashi suddenly had a suspicion. He spawned 2 Shadow Clone. The first Shadow Clone glanced at the masked man sitting on the ground and replied, "Masked man, the person who killed me was the masked man. Uchiha Obito. Inside, I just want to beat someone up." But no, because this Shadow Clone was killed by Morbid Questioner. Just as Kakashi is preparing to return with another Shadow Clone, the answer was when pain killed him. That weird metallic sound is back online. Question. Everyone almost felt like their heart had stopped suffocating. What's going on? The faces of the 2 generations of Hokage were ashen, and the faces of other film and Haka representatives were also extremely ugly. Question. Who killed the White Tiger of the Akatsuki organization, Chūnin, the rebel ninja of Rain Shinobi Village in the Kingdom of Rain? When this question came up, the 2 men present suddenly felt like they had a sixth sense. One pulled out the black stick that has always been used as a chakra receiver. Another one pulled out the wood-style branch from the palm of his hand. Rule 1. There are 3 opportunities, and all life forms in the field are eligible to answer. The masked man stabbed Pain with a wood-style branch, and Pain's chakra black rod opened the masked man's branch. At the same time, the other hand pulled out a black stick again and stabbed the masked man on the shoulder. 2. A living being who answers incorrectly will be deprived of vital signs immediately as punishment. The masked man forgot for a moment that Kemui's space was locked and the function of the hollow could not be used. The arm filled with Chizetsu, or 1st Hokage, Senju Hashirama cells, was ordered differently. But as if he didn't know the pain, he further inserted the branch into Pain's palm. With style cutting technique, Pain's arm suddenly exploded into a branch. 3. After the three independent living beings were deprived of their vital signs, this Q&A ended and the domain barrier opened automatically. Like the masked man, Pain seems to feel no pain from the injuries on his body. Shinra Tenjong. The masked man was ejected by the power of heaven, but he quickly made Seal's fire style great fireball technique. The masked man actually used fire style to force himself out of Pain's Shinra Tianjung field horizontally. He was only ejected 4 or 5 meters away before using the great fireball twice in succession to circle Pain. Get behind him. 4. If you answer the correct answer within the opportunity, the domain barrier will automatically open, and the answer will receive corresponding rewards. Wood style branches and chakra black sticks collide again. One of the two men was expressionless. The other was wearing a mask. No one knew what was underneath his true expression, ferocious. While the rules of horror questions and answers emerge one by one, these two silent men have been fighting for dozens of rounds. Unable to speak aloud, the two fought each other harder and harder. They almost have a posture of killing each other immediately. This sudden situation stunned everyone else in Konoha, and they didn't react for a long time, until the wood-style branch and the chakra black rod collided again. The two scary guys stopped to compete with each other. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura-chan, other Konoha people, ninjas from other villages. Everyone was shocked. What's going on? The power struggle that Akatsuki prevented. But wasn't everything fine just now? Why did these two people start fighting as soon as the second question came out? Kakashi. Why? Why did the masked man and Pain suddenly fight? Internal strife. No, that's not right. It must be related to that problem. The metallic voice of horror questions and answers echoed in Kakashi's ears, who killed the white tiger of the Akatsuki organization, the traitorous ninja of the Rain Country. Conan? He looked at the woman with short blue-purple hair behind Pain. What was on her forehead was none other than Rain Shinobi Village's renegade ninja forehead protector. At the same time, Kakashi also discovered that the woman who should be Conan was also staring at him. Conan's ears also echoed with the evil male voice of morbid questions and answers. Who killed the man known as the Konoha technician, Hitaki Kakashi, in Konohagakure? An imminent answer appeared in the minds of Kakashi and Conan. Conan looked at Kakashi in silence for a moment. Then he nodded slightly. Kakashi forms the seal, again, shadow, clone technique. In addition to Kakashi's body, there are two Kakashi shadow clone present. The three Kakashi are all standing in a row with their hands in their pockets. No one can tell which one is real and which two are shadow clone, except for the two top and underground leaders of the Akatsuki organization who were killing wildly. Everyone else temporarily turned their attention to Kakashi and his clones. One of them, Kakashi, took a step forward. The first answer is Pain. Another Kakashi took a step forward. The second answer is the masked man. After hearing this answer, the masked man Uchiha took one behind his back. Then among the two questions that appeared out of nowhere, already one of them has made a judgment correct answer. Chapter 154 Breakup. Obito watches the movie, Pain kills Kakashi. Pain watches the movie, Obito kills Conan. Although I didn't say the exact name, I guess it's still correct. Everyone was stunned. So, Kakashi answered two questions correctly at the same time. The most important is, everyone looked at Pain and a masked man who were killing fiercely. This situation is very subtle. Naruto looked confused and approached Kakashi and asked, Kakashi-sensei, who is Conan? Well, it's probably the girl with blue-purple hair who appeared with Pain. Everyone's attention focused on Conan, and they understood instantly. The masked man actually killed a woman named Pain. Who can blame this but the one who is not impatient? Suddenly someone asked, the masked man killed the woman who was the leader of the Akatsuki organization, so the leader was anxious to kill the masked man. Then Pain killed Kakashi. Why is the masked man so worried? Kakashi, who am I and where am I? Conan, I don't know what to say. Is there something wrong with the Konoha people's brains? Pain, Nagato, Konan and Yahiko are a couple. Don't talk nonsense. Uchiha Obito. This hypocritical world should be destroyed as expected. Konoha's proud blue beast jumped out and patrolled back and forth between Kakashi and the masked man. Hey, Kakashi, don't tell me that you know this strange masked man. Kakashi wanted to roll his eyes, but he said this in a nonchalant way. The Uchiha related to me. The only one with the same age as this guy is Uchiha Obito. He glanced at the masked man dully. Do you think Obito can be from this kind of family? As he spoke, he poked the masked man in the direction of the masked man with his thumb, his tone full of disgust. Uchiha masked man Obito, my heart has been flooded with garbage and hypocritical fakes. Naruto suddenly shouted. Speaking of prizes, generally speaking, there should be prizes, right? Award, reward 1. Resurrection of people who died within 1 hour within the boundary of the realm. Everyone was shocked. It was indeed true. The scary Q&A with a metallic voice was helping them. The people who had been wiped out by another question and answer just now were resurrected one by one. It's like time has been turned back. 30 bright green light bands lingered nearby. It's Pain's technique. Outsider Rinat, Tensei technique. Those who were resurrected and those around them seemed to be having a dream. I was about to say something to express my feelings, but before everyone's shock was over. Reward 2. Summoning contract, the traveling toad. Everyone was confused. At this time, a man appeared in front of Kakashi cute light green toad. Black has a bit of arrogance in his eyes, and he is carrying a big hat made of some kind of leaves on his back. Is this thing a prize? What is the use? The little toad took out a small brown-covered notebook from nowhere and handed it in the direction of Kakashi. Kakashi's dead eyes. Oh no, I only make a summoning contract with a ninja dog. Naruto immediately rushed over. Me. How sure Chūnin and I made a summoning contract with a toad. The traveling toad tilted his head and handed the small notebook in Naruto's direction. Naruto looked at Kakashi with a starry eye. Kakashi had no intention of entering into a summoning contract with Toad. Coupled with the fact that his chakra was looking for Naruto's best candidate, Kakashi felt a little guilty towards Naruto. Of course, I was happy to give him Naruto's contract, which was of no use to me, but might be suitable. Swish, swish, swish. Naruto signed his name in this small book that was not even a scroll. The toad turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. After that comes the video stage. Pain and the masked man both put away the chakra black stick and the wood-style tree branch. Only then did someone from Konoha say in shock, "Wood style." The third Hokage and the Konoha advisory board were dumbfounded. It's actually first Hokage-sama's wood style? Wait a minute, that guy is a Sharingan. He's an Uchiha. The big screen of images has been turned on. But at this time, everyone's focus is still on how Senju and Uchiha combine. Kakashi glanced at the masked man standing there, not prepared to explain. The video started, and they turned their attention to the video at the gate of Konoha Shinobi School. In the opening scene, Pain stabbed a Konoha shinobi to death with a chakra black stick. The terrifying Rinnegan sent Konoha's Genin-level ninjas to his door automatically and hit Pain's chakra black rod. In less than 3 seconds, several Konoha shinobi were killed. In front of the viewing area, Pain was immediately surrounded by Konoha Umbu and dozens of powerful Genin. Pain and Chūnin did not take any action. After all, the future in the image has not happened yet. It is better to obtain more information about the future as before. Of course, especially Pain. That is, Nagato is now worried about Chūnin's death. He paid more attention to the masked man, who was also sitting on the ground casually without moving. That is, Madara. Look at the video. That guy's not alone. Suddenly someone shouted. The firepower originally focused on Pain and Chūnin has been transferred to the image again. I saw in the video, next to the corpses of several Konoha shinobi. In addition to Pain and Chūnin, 5 new enemies have appeared. Moreover, these people are uniformly dressed in akatsuki, uniforms with black background and red clouds. Although the body shape, appearance, and even gender are different, Everyone wears the forehead protector of the rebellious ninja of Rain Shinobi Village, and their hair is the same orange as Pain. Here, they're divided into two groups, Feint and Exploration. Fake attacks are Shura Path, Animal Path, Hungry Kid, following Pain's words. The images focused on the faces of these three people. They're all the same as Pain, with many black chakra sticks inserted into their bodies. The most terrifying thing is that they all have Rinnegan. One pair of Rinnegan is enough. Fourth Raikage looked at third Hokage and asked, "You Konoha are really in big trouble." The other shadows or representatives of Ninja Village also nodded, indicating that they had to agree. Senju Tobarama, because we in Konoha have Uchiha, but you don't. Some people in Konoha who know that Rinnegan evolved from Uchiha's Manjiki Sharingan, such as Uchiha Sasuke, are more irritable than anyone else. He's an orthodox Uchiha and hasn't gotten Rinnegan yet. Well, at this time, he doesn't even have Manjiki Sharingan. But why do all those outsiders use Rinnegan? Hey Sasuke. Naruto next to him poked Sasuke. What's the matter? The guy at the end of the crane. He was in an irritable mood. Do you think that this person's voice is really similar to the voice of the guy from Second Generation? I just thought the guy from Second Generation was talking. Senju Tobarama. Pain. The two looked at each other expressionlessly, then turned away to look at the image. Exploration is the way of heaven, the way of earth, the way of hell. Chūnin. Then, Tendo Pain said something that made Uzumaki Mito and Fubao stunned. Konoha opened a spherical barrier on the ground and underground of the village. In the image, there's a layer of gray-white barrier in the eyes of Tiandao Pain, which protects Konoha as a whole. Uzumaki Mito and Fuso don't know whether Rinnegan has this ability, but they both feel that this ability is more like their Uzumaki's chakra sensing technique. In the video, Tendo Pain was making detailed arrangements with an expressionless expression based on the situation in Konoha. Then, follow his arrangements. The Beast Path launches a surprise attack from above Konoha. At the same time, Pain shouted the words at this moment. Let the world feel pain. This sentence is like a mantra. Everyone who has watched the movie, The Ninja Alliance Captain's Oath Speech, will remember the cruel scene. An orange-haired man floating thousands of meters in the air. Only one ninjutsu was used. In an instant, their village, their Konohagakure, turned into a massive ruin. Even in the video, that scene made many Konoha shinobi heartbroken. In the image, Konohagakure at this time is like the calm before the storm. The villagers live a peaceful and happy life. Little do they know that destruction is coming. Misjudged by the sensing team as an intruder, the Beast Path summoned all the others to his side the moment he arrived on the ground of Konoha. Boom! Heavenly Way, Human Realm, Hell Realm, Shura Realm, Animal Realm, Hungry Kid. Terror is coming. Unlike in the video, the people of Konoha Village were completely unaware. Already aware that Konoha is about to be destroyed, the people of Konoha Village who are watching the images of the future are waiting for the countdown to the trial with a sense of fear. Breaking! Following the command from Tiandao Pain in the image. 6 pains are scattered throughout Konoha. Shura Dao pull a string of missiles from the arm and wrist link. The missile has no target. In other words, the entire Konoha is their target. Houses one after another were destroyed by successive artillery fire. The eyes of those who see Konoha Shinobi in front of the video are splitting. Animal Way summoning beasts that were so huge that they almost caught up with the tailed beasts were summoned by her. In the video, the civilians living in Konoha have never seen such a huge monster. They all recalled the huge orange-red-tailed beast during the Nine Tails Rebellion more than 10 years ago. The whole Konoha was in chaos. Ninjas died one after another in the battle, and the poor fled in all directions. In the ruins of houses that were blown up by bombs and destroyed by summoning monsters, familiar faces screamed in pain in the images. The movie viewing area in front of Konoha Shinobi School, a great fireball sprayed towards Pain. Tiandao Pain didn't even look at it. A universal pull leaf hurricane. Might Guy, the proud blue beast of Konoha, save the famous ninja student at extremely fast speed. Teacher with super thick eyebrows. Teacher Guy. Naruto, Shaoli, and Kakashi each shouted. The ninja student who was rescued was also frightened. Might Guy showed his white lips and gave a thumbs up to Genin. It's great that you have this awareness, but that person is not something you can deal with right now. Youth needs to wait. Don't rush. The future in the image has not happened. We still have a chance meeting. Pain. It was like explaining to the ninja school student why he was no match for Pain. In the image at this time, there was also a ninja using the great fireball technique to deal with Pain, who was hungry for Kid. A Genin's fire style not only had no effect, but was actually absorbed by the enemy. Might Guy also watched the video with a serious expression. These guys are really extraordinary. He turned to look at the masked man, who was also wearing a black and red cloud robe. A kind of beastly intuition told him that this person, he might know him. In the video, due to misjudgment of the number of enemies, the ninjas sent to fight were unable to meet their opponents. Quietly embedded in the world of Konoha, just putting his hand on the Konoha shinobi's head will instantly instill all the other person's memories into his brain. Yamanaka Ino. This is similar to her father's ninja technique. Mind-reading technique. Ino said loudly. The purpose of these people coming to Konoha is to find something or some kind of information. Naruto murmured with a dull expression. Jinchuriki. At critical moments like this, his brain always works very well, and coupled with his beast-like intuition, Naruto suddenly sensed the opponent's purpose. They are here to find me. Sasuke. Gaara. Everyone nearby looked at Naruto. They remembered that they had mentioned in the previous video that these people were spreading world-class pain in every village in order to collect tailed beasts. Naruto's fists clenched loudly. These people are looking for him, wreaking havoc in Konoha. Just as Naruto thought, in the image, the Konoha shinobi whose memory was extracted by the human world looked very bad, pale, and almost collapsed. Pain is still not satisfied with the world. He said to himself, "Don't you have any information about Nine Tails?" After confirming this information, the Konoha shinobi was like a discarded prop. His soul was directly extracted by Pain of the human world, and he fell to the ground 3.0. Assholes, what are you doing? Naruto, who was watching the movie, scolded Pain angrily. Calm down, Naruto. Kakashi held Naruto's shoulders. There's still a chance for everything to turn around. How can I calm down? I'm going to die. Everyone in Konoha and Mr. Kakashi. I'm going to die. Naruto growled at Kakashi. The masked man sitting aside glanced at Kakashi without saying a word. Kakashi was not as impulsive as Naruto, and even smiled and rubbed Naruto's head. Everyone will be fine. During the Fourth Ninja War, there were so many Konoha shinobi at Gaara's mobilization speech. Shikamaru's expression of, "I have everything under control," crushed Naruto's IQ. Idiot Naruto, don't forget Kakashi-sensei is also the captain of the third team of the Ninja Alliance. This sentence seems to remind everyone, yes, Kakashi is alive. Yes, I said, how could Kakashi die? He is still the captain of the Ninja Alliance. Some people in the crowd immediately began to question the authenticity of the horrific questions and answers that appeared later. Isn't the one at the back a fake? Yes, obviously Kakashi is not dead. Why do you have to say that a guy named Pain killed Kakashi? It is different from the people of Konoha whispering to each other. The three Akatsuki members who are here at the moment are unusually silent, especially Konan, who looked at Pain with worried eyes. Because at least the three of them know Rinnegan has an ability outside her Rinne Tensei technique. Chapter 155, the leader of Akatsuki, is the junior brother of 4th Hokage. What is that masked man from the 4th Hokage? Nagato. In the dark paper tree hole, Konan looked worriedly at the red-haired man in front of him. After Yahiko left, Nagato was her last companion. It is also the last bond she has to survive in this world. Make assumptions based on the previous images and this time's horror quiz questions. Pin may indeed have killed Sharingan's Kakashi, as well as a large number of Konoha villagers. Then, for some unknown reason, they were resurrected using the heretic Rinne Tensei technique. In the previous image, Nagato, who was reincarnated by the impure world together with Itachi, was in a haggard shape, and his red hair turned white. This was a sign of excessive use of chakra to forcibly resurrect a large number of targets. When Konan was worried about Nagato, Nagato is also worried about his last companion, Konan. Konan, Yahiko, he finally hopes that we can survive, so no matter what, I will protect you. Even if the enemy is Madara, Konan smiled as softly as a girl back then. Nagato, I feel the same way. I will definitely protect you too. Consciousness returned to Konoha. In a video, Pain from the Hell Realm choked 2 Konoha shinobi members and threatened them word by word. Tell me, where is Uzumaki Naruto? The 2 Konoha shinobi seemed unaware. Hell Road, Pain strangled them to death without hesitation and looked for new targets. At the same time, Konan wrapped the Konoha shinobi she was questioning in paper until the person suffocated to death. Pain's chakra black rod is being pulled out of the Konoha shinobi's body. At his feet were the bodies of many Konoha shinobi. Everything in the image touched Genin Naruto, and he couldn't help but said, "Where on earth was I at that time? So many people were killed because of him. This is unacceptable to Naruto. He would rather jump out and fight those guys to the end than to be protected like this." "Calm down, Naruto." The speaker was Gaara. He said, "Have you forgotten? What will happen to Jinchuriki after being caught by Akatsuki?" Naruto, he recalled the previous image, in which Gaara, a Kazekage from the future, was absorbed by the tailed beast chakra by Akatsuki. If he and Granny Chiyo had not resurrected him, then Gaara would not have made a declaration to join the Ninja Alliance in the future. But Naruto wanted to say something else. Gaara interrupted him. "You should believe in yourself in the future." "That's right, Uzumaki Naruto," Senju Tobirama said. "The person you should trust is yourself. Don't forget that everyone in Konoha is still alive in the end." Naruto gradually calmed down. At the same time, the voice of Senju Tobirama overlaps with the voice of Pain in the video. He received side glances from Konan, the masked man, and all the Konoha people. "Naruto, second-generation brother, do you really not have any long-lost brothers?" Fourth Hokage Namake's Minato looked embarrassed. Naruto, third Hokage, advisory group, 08 Sasuke, Little Sakura, and other Konoha Genin. "Idiot," Senju Tobirama said angrily. "You idiot. I was born before the founding of Konoha." He pointed at Pain and roared, "How can you be more than 50 years older than that, Junior? What do you think in this situation? Could they be brothers?" "Pain, I must remind you, Uzumaki Naruto, there is no such thing as sound to identify brothers in this world." Naruto had a look of realization on his face. "Oh, that's it." As a result, a lot of the fear was diluted by their conversation, but a huge explosion drew everyone's attention back to the image. It's Pain from the Shura Path. It's simply no longer the category of human beings. Someone exclaimed. It turned out that that guy actually opened his head and released a powerful attack, like an exploding bomb, instantly turning a certain area of Konoha into ruins. It had been several minutes since Pain from 6 Paths attacked Konoha. A series of massive attacks finally alerted the ninjas of various families in Konoha. "Look, it's us." You pointed at the image and said, "Akamaru and I in the future, Hinata and Shino are also there." Genin Chai chewed potato chips. "If it's us in the future, we should be able to help with it for a while, right?" Just as Chai thought. When the innocent villagers in the video are about to be attacked by the monsters summoned by the beast Dao, Pain, "Go to hell." The girl Sakura suddenly jumped up and punched the summoning mon, which was half the size of a tailed beast, and was knocked upside down. At this time, movie viewing areas around the world are sending out, "Oh, as expected of Sakura. Brother Sakura is here. Those who attack Konoha are going to be finished. Come on, Sakura-chan." Atsui from Cloud Shinobi Village waved his fist and shouted in front of him. But he was immediately suppressed by his elder sister. Samui said, "Calm down, Azi. You are not cold enough at all. How can the ninjas of Kimui Cloud Shinobi Village cheer for the ninjas of other shinobi villages? But sister, we will form an alliance of ninjas in 2 or 3 years. So why should we distinguish between each other? Atsui said. Besides, if the people of Konoha can kill those Akatsuki guys, Master Killer, isn't it safe if you stay with Master Wooden Golem? This is true. How could the leader of Akatsuki, Pain, be so easy to deal with? In the image, there are only 6 people, but they are enough to catch up with 6 powerful troops. In the Hokage room, a blonde beauty with the word gamble written on her back, as the Hokage of this generation, immediately made a judgment and gave an order. Send an emergency alert. And tell Naruto to come home quickly. Naruto, come back soon. Could it be that I wasn't in Konoha at that time? I said. No one could answer him. They could only continue to watch the video. But then, they got another shocking news from the video. Midokado Hamura, Danzo, is the Akatsuki you said came to attack Konoha, the same Pain who defeated Jiraiya and killed him. Everyone in Konoha was shocked, especially Jiraiya's teacher, 3rd Hokage. Jiraiya died in battle. Not only Kakashi, but also Jiraiya-sama, one of the main ninjas, was killed. Hateful. At this time, everyone's attention is on the image. When Naruto was lost and thought about where he was and why he hadn't rushed to save Kakashi-sensei and Heiosuke-senin, a voice broke into his ears. Hey, it seems that the time I can live is limited, but dying in battle is not a bad way to die. Naruto suddenly turned around. It was the heroic sage who agreed to help him practice. Immediately afterwards, a clear and bold female voice behind Jiraiya said, "The harm will last for thousands of years. In short, you won't die so easily with me here." Then there was a loud slap. Tsunade, can't you be gentler? Jiraiya held her mouth and whispered, "Weird girl." The two of them are the 5th Hokage who just appeared in the video, and the Jiraiya they are both familiar with. How Chūnin? Naruto shouted. And the big sister in the image. Jiraiya, what's your name? Tsunade is the same age as me. Naruto was extremely naive at this time and said very obediently, "Oh, Grandma Tsunade." And mother-in-law. Tsunade was shocked when she was called Grandma for the first time. Even the 4th Hokage, who could not see anyone, was worried about his son. He felt that this boy should not follow him or Kushina in some aspects. Fortunately, before Naruto was beaten, 2nd Hokage and Uzumaki Mido stopped Tsunade. With these two people who were older than her and at the level of grandparents, Tsunade was too embarrassed to have to beat Naruto. The premise is that she doesn't know that Naruto has always called 2nd Hokage little brother and Mido big sister. After a moment's rest, everyone's attention returned to the image again. Because of the previous video, Shimura Dans, the senior Konoha executive who was revealed to have targeted Uchiha and gouged out Shisui's eyes, once again showed disagreement with the contemporary Hokage. And just like last time, he encouraged the other 2 consultants to join forces to resist Hokage's resolution. The purpose of Akatsuki is the legacy of the 4th Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto. Danzo in the video said, but 5th Hokage Tsunade, in such a crisis, called Naruto back to the village. The 2 consultants present were already blushing as they watched the video. They saw themselves in the image, like weeds on the wall, and followed Shimura Danza's words. Isn't this adding fuel to the fire? Tsunade is so willful. Yes, if this plan continues, Konoha will definitely be destroyed. Someone in the viewing area of Konoha immediately raised the question. But otherwise, wouldn't Konoha be destroyed earlier? If Uzumaki Naruto is here, he is so strong. There's always a fight, right? If he loses, because he can't, all of Konoha will be defeated together. How can there be no reason not to fight and get beaten? It's all because of these consultants. In recent years, Konoha has not been beaten once or twice without fighting. The person next to him bumped into him, hey, and then winked at him, telling him that the 2 consultants are here now. The person who spoke before immediately fell silent. In short, after watching the movie here, many people have lowered their evaluation of Danzo, Midokado Hamura, and Koharu. At this time, All Konoha Genin, Genin, and even the ninja students are eager to help. These so-called senior executives and consultants are actually discussing political issues over tea. Even Senju Tobarama couldn't help but cursed. What does it look like? Danzo, who was still hiding his roots, was unconvinced. What's wrong with me doing this? Isn't it all for the survival of Konoha? At this time, the people of Konoha actually looked down upon the two advisors, Midokado Hamura and Udatane Kaharu, more than Danzo, a state of retirement, discussing Konoha's policies in a semi-lineup manner. Enjoy the resources, but they are useless at the critical moment. Blindly use your past achievements to comfort your self-esteem and rely on some past achievements without making progress. Look at those Konoha Chūnin and Konoha Genin who are only 16 or 17 years old. In the image, in order to protect the pregnant Yuhi Kurenai, Nara Shikamaru resorted to a family secret ninjutsu, shadow seam technique. The shadow was like black needlework, pinning summoning mon to the ground. After that, he actually branched out a shadow, as flexible as his own hand, went to his ninja bag, took out a kunai and detonating talisman, and blew it to pieces. Teacher Hong, please go to the shelter and seek refuge. I will be responsible for covering you. Everyone in the viewing area heard Shikamaru say, if something happens to Teacher Hong and the child in her belly, I will be ashamed to see the dead teacher Asuma. Shikamaru, Asuma. Third Hokage trembled and almost dropped his pipe. Asuma was stunned for a moment, then took a drag of his cigarette and looked at Shikamaru with his eyes hanging weakly. At least call him teacher. Then he looked at Hong, a little embarrassed. It seems that the ending is going to end with you taking care of the child alone. I'm really sorry. If it wasn't just an image, Hong would probably actually cry. But at least they can distinguish between images and reality. As long as they avoid that ending line, they will definitely get their ideal future. Return to the image. The residents of Konoha in the image fled in all directions. The war brought pain to people, and countless buildings turned into ruins. Deafening blasts. Pain's purpose in the official video. He is going to bring pain to the world. Let the world feel the pain. Let the world understand pain, so that the world can understand the value of peace. Only when you lose can you learn to cherish more. This is his logic and truth. Right in front of the short-haired Haruno Sakura in the video, several Konoha civilians were crushed to death in the rubble. Why is this so? Little Sakura, who was watching the movie, almost cried. No wonder she had strong strength in the ending, but had experienced so much pain. In the image, Konoha is full of devastation, and groups of people walk into Hetian Hospital. Because of the lack of command, the hall was already filled with injured patients. Looking around, there are at least dozens of people. All that could be heard were painful sick moans, just like the scene that appeared in Konoha Hospital after Nine Tails attacked the village many years ago. At this time, it was Haruno Sakura in the video who shouldered the heavy responsibility, arranging the casualty classification, casualty transfer, and casualty treatment in an orderly manner. Looking at the scene in the video, Tsunade, who also joined the movie watching group, was particularly satisfied with this girl with low hair. At the same time, Tsunade in the video is arranging a toad to bring Naruto back. Naruto, Toad? Why did you let the toad find me? That's, Jiraiya said. Mount my Boku's communication toad. Could it be the reverse summoning technique? Reverse summoning technique? Naruto looked curious. However, the two helpless consultants in the video suddenly pushed in the door and asked Naruto to continue to stay at Mount My Boku. Naruto, Mount My Boku, Jiraiya told him. This is where the toads you summoned live. They are all immortal toads from Mount My Boku. Senju Tobarama was repeatedly annoyed by these two students because Tsunade is younger than the two of you, so you can't even knock on the door when entering the Hokage room? After all, Tsunade is the eldest granddaughter of his eldest brother, although because of his deep being favored by the elder brother is a bit unsettling in some aspects. But it is not the turn of Midokado Hamura and Udatane Koharu to preach. The most important thing is that in terms of fire will, Tsunade inherited it better than the two of them. Facing Senju Tobarama, the two consultants bowed their heads and remained silent. But the image was not ready to let them go. The two of them were still facing Tsunade as the fifth Hokage. The purpose of Akatsuki is the Nine Tails Demon Fox. Facing an enemy that even Jiraiya can't resist, what are you going to let a kid like Naruto do? If Nine Tails falls into their hands before Udatane Koharu finished speaking, Tsunade was angry in the image, and the whole village was angry outside the image. They could clearly see how Naruto would behave in the future in the previous images. Save the Ninja Alliance commander. Led an alliance of ninjas against 10 tails. Save the entire Ninja Alliance with the tailed beast's chakra. Even back then, they all thought that the heritage of the fourth generation meant that Naruto was the tailed beast Jinchuriki, the symbol of the demon fox that killed the fourth Hokage. And the truth is actually fourth Hokage's biological son. Also, Uzumaki Naruto, the unexpected number one, seems to have played a crucial role in the fight against the woman with multiple eye skills. Yes, that reverse harem technique or something. Thinking of the Konoha people here, when they looked at the two elders of their village, they even looked at them with contempt. Of course, it's not just the people of Konoha. Everyone in the film industry scorns them. Even the daimyo of the Land of Fire said, "Why don't I replace these two people? It's an eyesore." The little fan swayed and flew up, showing that he was angry. Attendant, yes. But after seeing that Danzo, Ping didn't dare to say that. In the image, the strange Hokage, Tsunade Haim, who was so angry that she lifted up the two elders, fell into a memory. Tsunade, who had just started to join Konoha's movie-watching ranks, was quite interested and wanted to have a glass of wine to drink while watching. It seemed to be an image of Naruto standing in front of her to fight the enemy in order to save her. "Oh, you overestimate your capabilities, brat." A large amount of blood spurted out in the next image, and 967 made Nazho, who still had not been treated for hemophobia, feel numb. Uzumaki Naruto in the memory had a firm look in his eyes, grabbing Yakushi Kabuto's kunai with his own hand. "I will never die before I become Hokage. Because Hokage is my dream. Because Hokage is my dream. Because Hokage is my dream." In the video at that moment, the two figures that Naruto and Tsunade wanted to see overlapped. Nawaki. Break. Watching the movie, Tsunade couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by seeing her lover and brother again in the video. Even at that moment, there was no time to notice the blood splattering on Naruto's face in the image. Staring at the image like a dementia, this scene made Jiraiya, who was standing next to her, look sad and distressed. This came from Tsunade's memories in the video. Not only did he have a lot of memories of Tsunade, but even Naruto, who was watching the video and saw that this had never happened before, was stunned. Because Hokage is my dream. My dream. Just 2 days ago, after learning the truth, he almost lost this dream. I still remember what Brother Itachi said in the video. It's not that you can get everyone's approval by becoming a Hokage. It's that only by getting everyone's approval, you can become a Hokage. Don't forget at all times that you have a companion. Companion. Naruto looked at Sasuke, Sakura-chan, Kakashi-sensei, Gaara and the others, and Shikamaru and the others around him. The fourth Hokage, whom no one could see, smiled like an old father. "You have gained a companion." Naruto, recalling what he had seen before, Naruto's miserable childhood, fourth Hokage was angry and happy for his son. "Naruto, hold on to your dream. You will definitely become a better ninja than me. You will also be the best Hokage." No one could hear the fourth Hokage's approval of his son, but next to him, Jiraiya seemed to understand his apprentice's thoughts and put his hand on Uzumaki Naruto's shoulder. "It seems that I was already dead at that time." Naruto was dumbfounded. How Chūnin? He didn't know what the other party was going to say. Jiraiya, whenever I think about the time when I cultivated Minato and cultivated such outstanding disciples as Nagato, Yahiko, and Konin, and in the future, I will be able to cultivate outstanding descendants like you. Jiraiya showed a smile as bright as the sky after the rain. "Then even if it means death, I will still be smiling in District 9 because the story of our generation will eventually end. And what really writes a new chapter in the future? It's you, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto was stunned. Write a new chapter in the future. There were two other people present who were even more stunned than Uzumaki Naruto. That was the one who was mentioned by name, and at the same time, he was called as much as the fourth Hokage, the leader of Akatsuki Nagato /Pen, and the White Tiger of Akatsuki Konin. They never expected that in this situation, after seeing so many images of the future, knowing their identities, goals, and maybe even killing the master, Jiraiya-sensei actually regards them as his most outstanding disciples. Konin pursed his lips and thanked silently. "Thank you, Mr. Jiraiya. You've grown into a beautiful girl, Konin." In Yahiko, Jiraiya's expression suddenly became serious. "I don't know how Nagato is doing, but you seem to have suffered a lot. I'm sorry." Jiraiya's act of recognizing relatives in this situation. The whole Konoha was really shocked. Chapter 156, Public Execution of Danzo and the Konoha Elders. What's going on? Everyone in Konoha is stupid. Master Jiraiya said something meaningful. They really wanted to understand it. But why didn't they seem to understand it? What is "you've grown into a big girl," Konin? What does it mean? When I think of the time when I trained Minato and trained such outstanding disciples as Nagato, Yahiko, and Konin. What a joke. That person is Akatsuki. Jiraiya-sama, if you like to accept disciples, you don't accept them so randomly. And why are you comparing that kind of rebellious ninja from the Rain Country to our fourth Hokage Namake's Minato from the Fire Country? Do you want to wait until the masked men are all your disciples? Ba. It's a sin. You can't arrange it like this for us, fourth Hokage-sama. You will be punished by God. If the masked man is Jiraiya-sama's apprentice, why not become Minato-sama's apprentice? No, I have to throw this bad idea away. Everyone was madly dissing Pain, Konin, and the three masked men present. But don't forget, there's a mother who heard about her son's famous minister. When Fuso heard the name Nagato, as a mother, she immediately rushed to Jiraiya and asked about her son. Jiraiya glanced at Yahiko, that is, Pain, and first asked about Fuso's situation. I learned that Fuso was resurrected by a red-haired girl over there who looked a bit like Kushina when she was a child. He glanced at Pain calmly. He keenly discovered that although Pain had a cold face, there was no expression. But Konin quietly took a turn between Fuso and Pain. Nagato, Jiraiya recalled. Nagato is the kindest child I have ever taught. A good boy who is so kind that he is willing to suppress his thoughts and try his best to cater to others for the sake of important people. I once thought he was my mission, the son of prophecy I was looking for. Within a land of fire, some distance away from Konoha, in the tree hole disguised by Konin with pieces of paper, the thin Nagato looked surprised. However, due to his poor health, the surprise made him cough violently several times. Worried, Konin hurried over to check on him. "Nagato," Konin said with concern, "that woman is really—" "Yes, it's my mother." Konin wanted to be happy for Nagato, but Nagato's next words were, "Don't worry, Konin. No one will stop our plans. We can definitely fulfill Yahiko's dream, create a world where there's only love and no distinction between each other." Nagato fell into a stubbornness affected by Yahiko's death. Konin actually doesn't mind not being able to fulfill her dream. She just doesn't want to lose her last important companion. Nagato, the video continued, and Jiraiya didn't have much time to tell Fuso her son's story. "This book is for you." Jiraiya took out a storybook called The Legend of Genshin Ninja from his arms. Tsunade came over and took a look. "Isn't this your debut novel? You can't sell it all after you write it. So you forced a storybook on me and Orochimaru? TSK. Tsunade, you don't have to deal with people like this." Jiraiya looked like a naughty boy in front of Tsunade at his age. "Save me some face in front of my apprentice's mother." Tsunade, I didn't mention your well-selling books. Wasn't it just to give you face? Freelance author Jiraiya. Loyal fan Kakashi. I don't know how my elementary school classmate became a big fan of the Little X book Uchiha Masked Man Obito. a true fan who is secretly watching third Hokage. Passengers who don't dare to look and don't want to look are not fans. Namikaze Minato. Nothing to say Konin. Nothing to say pain. Well, Jiraiya laughed a few times, forced the book to Nagato's mother Fuso, and said, "Although I have written many best-selling books since then, this one was written by the inspiration given to me by Nagato's child. The book will always be my best work. Nagato/pen. The inspiration I brought to Jiraiya-sensei." Speaking of which, Jiraiya winked at Naruto. "Minato, my apprentice fourth Hokage, also likes this book." Naruto was stunned. "Fourth Hokage? Ah, that's right." Jiraiya smiled a little proudly. He even asked for my opinion and planned to name his unborn son after the protagonist of this book. Naruto. Everyone who knows that Uzumaki Naruto is the son of the fourth generation. Jiraiya pretended not to care and took out another copy of The Legend of Genshin Ninja with a mean look on his face. "I have another copy here, if anyone begs me for it." Uzumaki Naruto created his own, the most powerful ninjutsu in history. Naruto made a hand-seal gesture and shouted, "Surret harem technique. Please, please come again, my lord." X30 Jiraiya, third Hokage, spurts blood. Kakashi and second Hokage had black lines on their faces. Little Sakura beat Naruto directly, and Sasuke turned away and cursed. The shadow of the 5 great ninja villages may represent the blood that should be spurted, the jealousy that should be jealous, and the black line that should be black. It can really be seen in the image that weird ninjutsu that can even punch the ancestor chakra. The old father Namikaze Minato, who has been speechless many times, can only lament that Kushina is not here now. Otherwise, his father and son will probably die. Unexpectedly, the number 1 ninja got the root of ninja as he wished. The protagonist's name is One Na. Are you? Wanting to continue watching the video, Naruto didn't seem to have any reaction after finding the protagonist's name, and just carefully put the book into his ninja bag. When I raised my head again, like a strong wind blowing away the last trace of haze, I saw the familiar boy again, who dreamed of Hokage and was like the son of Konoha. Senju Tobirama couldn't help but vomited. Fortunately, I used the name of the character in the book, otherwise her name might be Whirlpool Have Wind Dazzling Light Super Ninja Shadow 7 Styles. Jiraiya thought of the original name of Rasengan, and a black line came out. Minato's words. "It can be done, but only if Kushina will agree." Naruto. "No, I still have my current name, Uzumaki Naruto." Being led by Uzumaki Naruto, the atmosphere was much more relaxed than when I just watched the movie. But the atmosphere in the image is very heavy. It seems that in another ending, Jiraiya's death gave Uzumaki Naruto a deep blow. Everyone around the world saw that Konoha Genin, who had enough fighting power to destroy the world and defeat the heaven and the earth with his strength, was holding a double popsicle in his hand, sitting alone on a quiet bench and crying. That look is even more heartbreaking than the previous image of him lying in bed crying when he was hungry and had no family when he was young. Such Uzumaki Naruto touches the heart of 5th Hokage Tsunade in the video. Let go and take it. The 2 consultants even took out their identities at this time. What do you want to do to us consultants? As 5th Hokage, as the person who bets his dream on Uzumaki Naruto for the last time, Tsunade couldn't bear it anymore and yelled at the 2 consultants who asked Naruto to be hidden. "You are the ones. Who do you think yourselves are?" This roar caused all of Konoha to open the rankings. Watching the movie, Tsunade puffed up her chest and dared to act boldly. If those old people dare to boss her around like this, she would dare to fight back like this. When the ninjas of Konoha reacted, they discovered that there was an emotion called schwang spreading in their chests. It's cool. It's really cool. I've long since disliked those 2 self-righteous consultants. In the video, Tsunade's emotions have not yet been vented. She has too much anger squeezing her. Just because this village, no, just these 2 advisors treated Naruto like this. Jiraiya entrusted everything to him. How long are you going to treat him as a child? No, you don't even treat him as a person. Uzumaki Naruto, is not a weapon of the ninja village. He is surpassing Jiraiya. He will also surpass my grandfather in the future. He is an outstanding ninja who inherited Konoha's will of fire and grew up. After shouting Tsunade directly through the two counselors who had no fighting ability in front of her to the ground, she really tolerated them for a long time. Jiraiya, Sartobi Sensei, and Grandma Chio of Sunagakure. What is it that they have that you don't have? Do you know what it is? The entire ninja world was shocked by Tsunade's magnanimity. Such a female Hokage is more haki than anyone else. The video shows a piece of Chiyo's last words before her death when Naruto rescued Gaara. In this ninja world that has gradually decayed, is really happy to have fresh buds like you appearing. I have done too many wrong things in the past, but in the end, I finally did one right thing. Sunagakure and Konoha, with you here, we will definitely change the decadence and create an era different from ours. The image returns to Konoha Hokage's office. Tsunade glared at the two rotten Konoha advisors sitting on the ground. What you lack is trust in your juniors. Just like my grandfather, the first Hokage, trusted you and entrusted the next era to you. This time, it is your turn to trust them. Entrust the next era to them. Following the words of 5th Hokage Tsunade in the video shows little Sakura excelling in medical ninjutsu and casualty arrangement. It was Ino who followed her father to read enemy intelligence on the intelligence board. It is Chai and Shikamaru who each follow their father and play a role in their own fields. It was Hinata, Kiba, and Shino from the Yuhi Red team who assisted Konoha Genin in arranging the rescue. It's ninja students like Konoha Maru who are trying their best to make a difference. After a video, the Konoha Shinobi viewers who watched the movie were excited. Well said, pa pa pa. You're right, pa pa pa. After Tsunade finished speaking in the video, the Konoha Shinobi viewers who watched the movie were actually showing off Tsunade, 2nd Hokage, and 3rd Hokage, and they cheered excitedly. Some even clapped. You. The two consultants were angry and ashamed, and wanted to throw up their sleeves and leave on the spot. But due to 2nd Hokage's reputation, they absolutely did not dare to do this, and could only stay here next to each other. Naruto's little eyes looked at Tsunade eagerly. He was receiving approval every day. It was different from when he was a child, when he wanted to be recognized. If you want to get a companion, you can even go to the back mountains of Konoha and fight with other village ninjas. But now he won't. He saw his future growth in the image, and saw that he can become stronger and stand shoulder to shoulder with Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto is even more determined to practice hard and will never let down this opportunity. No, it's these recognitions. However, at this exciting moment, while the Hokage led the team to join the battle and left the Hokage room, the toad who originally received the order to bring Uzumaki Naruto back from Mount Maiboku was found to be ugly. The murderer is none other than Shimura Dance. The image is occupied by the sinister face of Shimura Dance. What a waste. They are really two useless ministers. They were actually restrained by that little girl, Tsunade, but the sharp blade in Danzo's hand twisted around the body of the Mount Maiboku toad, and his sinister expression showed a ferocious smile. In this way, Ninetales can be trapped. Everyone in Konoha. Danzo. All ninja world. No wonder Genin with the strength of Uzumaki Naruto. Konoha was destroyed by Akatsuki. The relationship is the credit of Shimura Dance. The whole world, the ninja world, is so dark. Meanwhile, somewhere in Awagakure, I watched the image of the Red Sand Scorpion. Deidara. What's wrong, Dana? The Red Sand Scorpion sitting in the Fei Lu who said in a hoarse voice, "Nothing. The next mission target is in the country of fire. Let's go." 17 Deidara trotted after him. That's right. What's up? Didn't your subordinates send news that Boss Pain and a Fei are in Konoha? So what? Deidara suggested. Then let's go to Konoha too. Let's see if old Yamato, a Fei, and the others can help. I mean, of course Boss Pain doesn't need help, but Fei can't do that. He's still a trainee, even if he's Itachi's younger brother, Ki. Shut up, you idiot. Why are you scolding me? I'll blow you up. Chapter 157. Here comes the problem. What is the relationship between Uchiha, Madara, and Hitaki Kakashi? It seems that Danzo has done yet another evil deed. Unable to recruit Uzumaki Naruto, no one of comparable strength can resist pain. The Intelligence Department and the Cryptozoology Department are still stepping up their analysis of the information Jiraiya paid for with his life. Every minute and every second is an unprecedented test for Konoha. I ask you again, where is Uzumaki Naruto? Konan in the image turned into pieces of flying paper, wrapping the body of Konoha Shinobi, forcing him to reveal the whereabouts of Uzumaki Naruto. However, Konoha Shinobi, who was forcibly suffocated, twitched his lips and only said, "Go to hell." The Konoha Shinobi was killed, and he vowed to defend the village to the death, thinking about not being afraid of the enemy. The ninjas in each village of the 5 major countries were the same. But ordinary people rarely have the opportunity to watch ninjas fighting. These ordinary civilians, nobles, and daimyo were also impressed by the ninjas' magnanimity. Strength is on the one hand, but also on the other. In this world, ninjas are equivalent to military power. It is precisely because of these ninjas walking in the darkness that every country can ensure that it is not invaded by other countries. Heavenly Way, Human Way, Hell Way, Shura Way, Animal Way, Hungry Kid. The 6 pain in the image were killing Konohagakure's lives one after another in Konoha. One after another Konoha Shinobi fell. Yet Konin and all of Pain still don't have an answer. Uzumaki Naruto, who was watching the movie, had eyes wide open and was so irritated that he crossed his arms and kept pinching his arms. I hate Pain for attacking the village. I even hate Danzo for killing the toad on Mount Maiboku. Damn it, Naruto gritted his teeth. Sasuke glanced at Naruto. He knew that he would have defected long ago. It was just because of Naruto that he was not included in the ranks of rebels. So he didn't expect to come back to save the situation at all, but he had a vague feeling that Naruto would come back. For 37, he rushed back when all of Konoha needed him the most, so that all of Konoha could look at his heroic back and use some unknown method to resurrect all the dead. Just like these horrific questions and answers, the dead are resurrected. In the image, Tsunade is standing on the roof of the Hokage building, using the summoning technique to summon the giant Katsuyu of the Shimobone Forest. Katsuyu, just like Hiruno Sakura, summoning on the battlefield of the Fourth War, quickly split into countless small Katsu, wandering around Konoha, looking for the wounded. At the expense of Tsunade's chakra, rescue the wounded with all your strength. Next, Genin Naruto, who was watching the movie, saw a scene that finally made him unable to calm down. In the video, the person exposed to Tendo pain in order to save his companions is one of Naruto's most important people. Yumino Irika. Teacher Irika. Naruto shouted at the image, but after all, he was not the Naruto in the image, and it was useless to be anxious. In the video, Pain asked Irika with the same voice as Second Hokage, "Tell me, where is Jinchuriki from Nine Tails? If you don't tell me, I will kill you." The black chakra stick is stained with the blood of the Konoha village ninjas. But you don't need to ask, how could the Konoha Chunin teacher who loves and protects Uzumaki Naruto as his brother, even as his son, expose Naruto's whereabouts? In the memory of Irika in the image, there are all the bits and pieces of Naruto's growth. Genin Naruto, who was watching the movie, was both moved and anxious. Fourth Hokage Namake's Minato, who was beside him, was also moved by Irika's care for his son and worried about this competent teacher and his safety at the moment. "I have nothing to say to a guy like you, Irika-sensei." Naruto was worried that the chakra black rod in Pain's hand in the image would stab Irika at the next moment. He didn't agree with the other party irritating the enemy like this, and he was so nervous that he shouted at the image. Irika next to him scratched his face and smiled awkwardly. "Naruto, I'm here." Naruto lost his temper and said, "Irika-sensei, don't talk now." He was actually the Irika-sensei in the angry video, and he actually couldn't think of a way to call someone, and even angered him. Naruto stared at Pain, who was surrounded by Konoha shinobi, with an expression that could even be described as exclaiming with ferocious anger. "If you dare to touch Mr. Irika and Mr. Kakashi, I will definitely kill you." Pain. In real life, Pain didn't say anything. He glanced at the red-haired woman next to Naruto, Fuso, and made no move. But Pain's purpose in coming to Konoha in the video is more clear. After receiving Irika's rejection, Pain drew out the chakra black stick and stabbed it directly. Just when the black stick was less than a foot away from Irika, Naruto, who was watching the movie, was so frightened that he forgot to speak. A hand wearing a ninja half-finger glove grabbed the chakra black rod. That scene was very similar to how a silver-haired male ninja grabbed his arm when an ordinary Konoha Genin took action many days ago because he was dissatisfied with Naruto's candidate for resurrection. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi. Kakashi-san. Kakashi-sensei. That's right. In the video, the silver-haired male ninja who came to the rescue in time is none other than Naruto and their current Genin mentor, Itachi Kakashi. Kakashi of Sharingan has been shown in the image, glaring at Tendo Pain, who was wreaking havoc in Konoha, and said to Irika, "Take the other wounded and leave. Leave this place to me." One Genin Naruto stared at the image while watching the movie. "So handsome. Mr. Kakashi." Pain, "Then tell me, where's Nine Tails?" In the image, Konoha is devastated, and corpses can be seen everywhere among the ruins. But no one compromised with Shao, and even if they were defeated, they never abandoned their integrity. The death of their companions, and even their own death in the video, made it difficult for the Konoha people watching the movie to let go and cast fierce glances at Pain and Chūnin, who were surrounded in the middle. "The people here are different from ordinary villagers," said Kakashi in the video. "These are people who will not betray their companions, even if they sacrifice themselves." Konoha Shinobi Kakashi's words are inspiring. This was communicated to each other in the viewing area, connecting Konoha's ninjas together time and time again. At the same time, Kakashi, who was so angry at Konoha's scars and the death of his companions in the video, actually broke Pain's strong chakra black rod. Pen kicked Kakashi. Kakashi squatted down and quickly formed an Ida seal to block the opponent's retreat with a doghead earthen wall. And using himself as bait, when the opponent's chakra black rod pierces his shoulder, he blocks the opponent's movement with one hand and gathers powerful thunder and lightning with the other hand, -1 Raikiri. During the battle, everyone in the viewing area watched very carefully. This is your best chance to get information. However, all I saw Kakashi, who was supposed to win the battle, suddenly missed the target. Uchiha Sasuke was shocked when he heard that Kakashi had seen the Raikiri method before, with Raikiri's speed and Sharingan's accuracy. How could it be possible to miss at such a distance? "It's Rinnegan," Jiraiya said. "This is the Rinnegan's power suppressing Kakashi's Sharingan." Ah! Suddenly a sneer made everyone watching the movie turn their attention to the masked man. Critical moment, the masked man draw the long sound before continuing. "Your Raikiri is not accurate. You are such a loser," Sharingan's Kakashi. For some reason, the masked man, also known as a Fei in the mouth of Pain and Chūnin, emphasized the pronunciation of the words "riding wheel eye." "What did you say?" Naruto immediately shouted back at the masked man. The masked man also stopped making any sound. But the Sharingan Kakashi whom he mentioned suddenly looked sad, because he remembered that at a certain moment, he accurately poured Raikiri into the chest of his companion. "Lin," Kakashi muttered. Under the mask, Uchiha Obito has a gloomy face. In the video, Kakashi gathers the Raikiri on his right hand again. Everyone watching the movie this time saw clearly that Pain's purple swirling eyes suddenly widened. Then in the video, Kakashi even used Raikiri, and then his whole body was knocked away by an inexplicable force. Even the dog-headed earth wall behind, it was instantly disintegrated into rubble. People watching the movie suddenly shouted, "It's Shinra Tensei." That guy named Nagato tried this trick before. That's right. This is the power that Uzumaki Naruto used in the previous video when he fought against the impure world reincarnation named Nagato. Fuso stared at Pain. Nagato. She didn't recognize Pain as Nagato. She just knew that this man must be related to her son. She urgently wants to know if Nagato is alive and well now. In the video, Kakashi enters a moment of great crisis. He doesn't even have a single Tian Dao pain, let alone another Shura Dao. Oh my god, I can even see the attack from behind. A ninja from a certain ninja village shouted. Because in the video, it was Kakashi who attacked Shurido Pain from behind and was completely dodged. Their eyes are connected to each other. What is going on? This ability is too cunning. At this time, someone suddenly noticed, wait, I remembered it because my hair color changed and I didn't recognize it for a while. The guy Pain turned into a kid. He seems to be a ninja from Kusakure village. Kusagakure. That's impossible. What he's wearing on his head is the forehead protector from the rebel ninja of Rain Shinobi Village. The ninjas watching the movie found it difficult to understand this phenomenon. I can only continue watching the movie with fear of its power. In the video, Kakashi, as the backbone of Konoha, is like a toy playing under Pain's hands. No one knew that the masked man watching the scene had a gloomy face that almost dripped with water. My heart was almost filled with, Kakashi this waste. Fake. Fake world. Sure enough, the Eye of the Moon is real. The real Kakashi is not like this. These random thoughts flood the screen. Shura Dao became a little like the Red Sand Scorpion Tarako and aimed his steel tail at Kakashi with a cold light. Universal pull. Kakashi, who could no longer hold on, was attracted by a strange force, and his body collided with the sharp blade of Shura Dao. Tisk next to the masked man, Konan vaguely heard a dissatisfied tisk sound under the mask. She looked at Kakashi, then at the masked man. I can't figure out the relationship between the two. She wondered in her heart, what could be the connection between Uchiha Madara and Hatake Kakashi? Just when Konan couldn't think clearly, Kakashi groans in pain in the video. Puff! The sharp blade of Shura Dao completely penetrated Kakashi's body. Naruto, Kakashi Sensei. Chapter 158 exposed. Uchiha Obito is still alive? Kakashi Mangeki Sharingan. Lightning style shadow clone. In the image, Kakashi, who was pierced by a sharp blade, turned into lightning style, temporarily paralyzing Shura Dao. Second Hokage praised Kakashi. You can actually combine lightning style and shadow clone. He is an excellent junior. Enough with the curl of his lips, he thought that this kid could be regarded as a genius who invented ninjutsu. That move Kimui plus Raikiri and Shuriken were used by Light Blue Susanoo. The power of Kimui Raikiri and Kimui Shuriken is really unmatched. In the video, Kakashi's lightning-style shadow clone was defused, followed by two mountain-like fists hitting Akamichi Dingza and Akimichi Chai, the father and son. Shura Dao Pain, who was paralyzed by lightning style, was directly hit by fists, but Tian Dao Pain dodged. TSK. What a pity, Konoha Shinobi viewers said angrily, clenching their fists. After some pleasantries, several Konoha Shinobi jointly attacked Tendo Pain. Double technique. Special ninja tool. Wind style. Attacks are coming from all directions. The masked man sneered. It's useless. Pain's Shinra Tensei and Universal Pull are just like Hyuga's Revolving Heaven. They are both attack and defense moves without blind spots. Jiraiya stared at the masked man with a serious face. You actually know the moves of the Konoha Hyuga clan. Who are you? Humph, the masked man said. Didn't I say that already? Madara is who I am. Madara. Uchiha Madara. All the ninjas looked at the masked man, and some turned back to look at Sasuke. After all, Second Hokage once said in the Q&A that Uchiha Sasuke is the chakra reincarnation of Uchiha Madara. Sasuke felt like he was being insulted and angrily said, "Don't compare me with this kind of person. This kind of guy who can't distinguish between dream and reality is not me. Naruto, little Sakura." That's right, that's right. The masked man stared at the three of them for a while, then turned his gaze back to the image and stopped talking. Uchiha Sasuke is upset inside because he could see that the masked man was not looking at the three of them, but the one at the end of the crane. In the video, just as the masked man said, no matter what kind of attack, Rinnegan's ability will be pushed away, just like the attraction and repulsion of a magnet. However, it looks like Kakashi has a trick up his sleeve. Major movie viewing areas around the world are seeing Hatake Kakashi used a feint to attack Pain from underground, attracting his attention and planting chains at the same time. Then two father and sons of the Akamichi clan used meat bomb tanks to attack Pain from two opposite directions at the same time. But in fact, this is also a feint. After being pushed away by Pain's Shinra Tensei, the two father and son grabbed the iron chain underground, blocking Pain's movement. Kakashi's Raikiri could stab the opponent accurately. Puff! It's a pity that Shura Dao Pain suddenly appeared and took the blow for Heaven Dao Pain. At this moment, Zabuza, who had been silently watching the movie, was too familiar with this scene. Not long ago, Kakashi did the same thing, stabbing him with Raikiri. The child is transparent as snow stood in front of him. Mr. Zabuza. I vaguely heard the child's voice calling me again and saw his gentle smile. Kakashi, Zabuza said in a deep voice, it's best not to use your Raikiri in the future. Sooner or later, the people you want to protect will be threatened by this move. This is just his intuition about disaster as a demon Zabuza. So of course he didn't expect that this sentence was like a sharp blade, hitting Kakashi's heart. Everyone looked at the masked man who was laughing wildly. Kirigakure kid, you may be saying it's too late. Zabuza, who hadn't been called a kid for many years, and everyone watching the movie were all confused. Only Kakashi knows the pain in his heart. The masked man further slandered Kakashi, enjoying the thrill of revenge. That trash, who keeps saying he won't betray his comrades. Hatake Kakashi. The thick yet playful voice was that of Uchiha Madara. Don't think too much of him, the masked man glanced at Naruto and said to him, if you want to ask why, it's because he's the kind of person who would abandon his companions and send the key, always use Raikiri to kill your companions. You're talking nonsense. Naruto immediately mentioned Kakashi's defense. It was teacher Kakashi who taught us that people who don't value their companions are worse losers than those. No, that's enough, Naruto. Kakashi stopped Uzumaki Naruto, his eyes full of past sadness. He's right. I'm a waste. Kakashi's words, which were almost self-injurious, immediately received disapproval from many people. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi. But Kakashi didn't pay attention. He just stared at the masked man and asked one word seriously. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. Just keep watching the images. Kakashi had nothing to do with the masked man's attitude. Although he returned his eyes to the video, his mind was not on watching the movie. Moreover, the pain and doubt in my heart are like ink dropped into water, gradually expanding, blackening my heart and thoughts. Contrary to him, the masked man paid close attention to the content in the image. In the image, Kakashi was blocked by Shuradao and lost his power with one blow. Pain's counterattack was so quick that no one saw it clearly. Only Chai was so scared that he knocked the last potato chip out of his mouth, because he saw that his father stood in front of him at the last moment. Akamichi Dingswa also saw it, but he didn't think it was anything. As parents, that's what happens, isn't it? The image returns to calmness, and the war situation has made the environment around here even more dilapidated. Kakashi Genin, who was pressed in the ruins, was no different. The injuries all over his body and the blood dripping on the ground made him look no different from these ruins. The same goes for the father and son Akamichi Choza and Akimichi Chai, lying far away, not knowing whether they're dead or alive. Naruto was so anxious that he could not sit still. He first blamed himself for staying in Mount Maiboku to make up for it, and then cursed Shimura Dans for killing the toad on Mount Maiboku and not letting it notify him to come back to save Konoha, save his companions. Feel the pain. With Pain's most famous words, a nail pierced Kakashi's vital part. All the people watching the movie were tense, worried about the comfort of these three familiar ninjas, especially under the mask. Uchiha Obito's face, staring at Pain in front of the image, can no longer be described as ferocious. I don't know what kind of distortion caused him to slander Kakashi more seriously just now, but it was unlucky for Pain, who was also Akatsuki, to take action. In the video, it was thought that Kakashi was dead and had no intelligence value, so Pain Tendo left. Kakashi, who was still breathing, persuaded Chai to pass the information back. But while watching the movie, Chai dropped the potato chip bag in his hand because he saw himself in the image, crying on his father's body. Chai. Shikamaru and Ino both knew Chai's character very well. This boy obviously had greater power in his body than the two of them, but he always failed to show his prominence because he was too kind. In this image of the future, his father's death was undoubtedly a great stimulus to him. Although Pain, the heavenly Tao, has left in the video, the Shura Tao is still there. The last attack is aimed at Chai, who is being protected by his father. While watching the movie, Konoha Genin was all nervous and worried about the chubby kind boy, especially his friend Shikamaru, who almost didn't move and stared at the image. The nearly 17-year-old boy Chai in the video, when he wanted to rely on his father again, looked at his father's body. He shouldered the responsibility and grew up instantly. Chai, run. Even Shikamaru, who is always calm, couldn't help shouting at the image while watching the movie. Not because of anything else. Shikamaru, who had seen so many images, could already vaguely deduce it. The world they live in and the world in the image are two completely different directions. They might even be able to change the future, but the world in the image has already happened. Since it already exists, no one could change it. To put simply, there is a real Chai, different from their reality, who is facing a great crisis. And Uncle Choza and Mr. Kakashi. Did they really die once? In the video, Chai is desperately trying to escape under the attack of Shirado. He is burdened with the heavy responsibility of putting the information back together. Kakashi, who is already half alive, is relieved. Now he can help Chai convey information to his surviving companions, giving them hope of living. This is the best choice I can make to save Konoha. When I opened my eyes again, the pattern on Kakashi's Sharingan had changed. It's Manjiki Sharingan. Everyone watching the movie looked at Kakashi in surprise. The entire ninja world is excited about this kind of operation. They have never heard that using the eyeballs of the dead Uchiha, one can perform an pupil technique of the level of Manjiki. But the most surprised people are Kakashi and Uchiha Sasuke, because both of them have seen this three-side-shaped Sharingan. On the second chance of resurrection, the two of them use Sharingan to stare at the rotating photos in the slot machine for several hours. The moment before the opportunity to resurrect the fourth Hokage, Kakashi was so shocked that he missed the photo from fourth generation. The man is about 30 years old, with short white hair. Half of his face is intact, and half of his face is covered with whirlpool scars. Half of the body seemed to have been repaired with something like white latex, and it looked pieced together with the other half of the body, making it look nondescript. The most important is, those eyes are the same black sickle pattern eyes as Kakashi in the video. Obito, Obito. Chapter 159, Kakashi and Obito Goodbye, Konoha's White Fang. Even Uchiha Itachi, who was present, was surprised. And Uchiha Shisui, these two Uchiha, who currently have Manjiki Sharingan, really didn't expect Kakashi, a foreigner, to be able to open the Manjiki technique. Kakashi-san. Itachi looked at Kakashi and shouted in surprise. Shisui suddenly said, theoretically speaking, after Obito Senpai dies, his Sharingan should no longer have room to advance. He said, if the owner of the eye dies, and the eye transplant can still open eyes and advance to other people, wouldn't it be a disaster for Uchiha? Or, if this is really the case, I think Uchiha ceased to exist because of the crime of possessing the jade a long time ago. Others, even Sasuke, looked confused. What do you mean? Please explain clearly. Think about it. Uchiha is different from Hyuga. Uchiha has a hard time opening his eyes, so he doesn't need something like a caged bird, let alone a branch house. Because as long as he opened a Sharingan, he will be classified as an elite. This is true. Even people from other villages know it. Shisui continued. One of the reasons why Hyuga protects the clan is to protect the purest Byakugan from other ninja villages. Then, if Uchiha Sharingan Even if it's a person who doesn't have eyes open, transplants eyes, 247 into other people's eye sockets, there's still a chance to open eyes. It's scary to think about it. The Hyuga clan knows this very well. If you kill Uchiha, dig out their eyes, and put them in your own eyes, you can still open the Sharingan. The Uchiha tribesmen, who have never been able to open their eyes, have become the target of public criticism. They are like luminous bodies carrying priceless treasures, but unable to use them. There is no shortage of people in the ninja world who do whatever it takes to gain power. Mizukage represents the man named King behind him. Don't think they don't know that the hidden right eye is their Byakugan. Those who do anything for power will stalk the Uchiha clan like bugs and kill them. Dig out their eyes. Gain more power. So let alone persisting until now, it is very likely that Uchiha was divided up by the Kukai tribe before Konoha was established. The situation must be far more miserable than that of Uzumaki, who once frightened hundreds of ninja clans and joined forces to massacre them. In the video, Kakashi uses his Manjiki Sharingan ability, similar to Itachi's Tsukuyumi world. In Kakashi's eyes, the whole world suddenly turned into a picture with red as the main tone. In the slow world, all movements are seen by him. Look, that missile chasing a Kimichi Chai. Someone shouted, and everyone saw that the missile in the image seemed to be slightly distorted, then twisted again. Then a different dimension installed by Uzumaki distorted the entire bomb and took it to other worlds. A bomb like that actually seemed like a misfire. No, it seemed like it had never appeared before. It turns out that Kakashi was not hit by pain. He used this special eye technique twice at critical moments. Fourth Raikage suddenly became furious. Wait a minute. I seem to have seen this kind of situation before. This sentence is like pouring cold water into hot oil, causing the pot to explode in an instant. That's right, this kind of time and space ninjutsu that distorts the surroundings and compresses the space seems familiar to them all. I should have seen it in some video. At this time, even civilians who had seen the video before recalled the scene. Then the Fourth Ninja War. I declare war here. The masked man entered the 5 Kage conference with a high profile, and then left with a high profile. The special method he used when leaving was to twist himself into the Uzumaki in the right eye. Fourth Raikage thought about this, punched his fists hard, blew his beard and glared. Kakashi, who are you? Or who gave you that Sharingan? As Kakashi's rival and friend for many years, Might Guy was the first to jump out. I believe Kakashi, he has absolutely nothing to do with that masked man. Absolutely. Uchiha mask, man Obito. Kakashi, guy. He glanced at the masked man sitting over there, then turned to look at Fourth Raikage with a pertinent expression on his face and a firm tone. My dear friend who gave me these eyes died in the Battle of Canopy Bridge 15 years ago. Kakashi whispered as if he was talking to himself. He is my hero, Uchiha Mask Man Obito. Terumi may turn to look at the second and third Hokage. Have you really confirmed the fact that Uchiha is dead? The third Hokage was about to respond. Second Hokage suddenly interrupted. Let's watch the video first. Don't forget that you may have to watch another one later if you don't want to stand here all the time analyzing intelligence. For the sake of second Hokage, the other village ninjas in the Konoha viewing area returned to watching the video. Kakashi was crushed in the rubble. His chest and abdomen rose and fell a bit exaggeratedly. The 3 people in Class 7, Genin from Kakashi's class, and Namake's Minato in the Soul State all became nervous. Kakashi's eyes in the video are full of exhaustion. It seems I seem to have stopped here. Kakashi slowly closed his eyes. At the last moment, there were only 2 names in his mind, Obito, Kakashi-sensei. The Konoha Genin who watched the movie felt sad about the death of the silver-haired Genin. Kakashi. There are almost no ninjas in Konoha who don't know Kakashi, and they're also infected with sadness. Kakashi, you are my Might Guy's lifelong rival. Might Guy shouted at the image with tears in his eyes. Stand up. Kakashi, where is your youth? The most frank person here is Kakashi himself. He can still laugh at this moment. Isn't it great? Like Obito, He died fighting to protect the village. In this way, his name can also be placed together with Obito on the memorial tablet. Someone should send him a bouquet of flowers occasionally, right? It's a pity that no one gives Obito Anko cakes anymore. I wonder if he would dislike it if I gave him the flowers. Why not give it to Lin? Girls will like to spend more. The whole of Konoha was immersed in a low-pressure sadness. In the video, Kakashi is probably really dying. In the space of consciousness, he returned to the youthful period full of sadness that he regretted deeply. He recalls Obito, the Uchiha boy who was smashed under the giant rock. No matter what the people in the village say, you are a great Genin. I'm going to die, but I can be your eyes and help you see the future clearly. In the image, a handsome black-haired boy and a gentle and beautiful brown-haired girl are together. The black-haired boy in the image is here at the moment, wearing a mask and becoming a man who is no one else. Lin, I'll leave it to you. This sentence was like a mantra, crushing the hearts of two people. But fortunately, the scene where Kakashi's Raikiri was poured into Lin's chest was not shown in the video. It's just that someone discovered it. There's a strange feeling. It seems that Kakashi himself is looking forward to this kind of relief. In the image, his consciousness is like a mud cow sinking into the sea, looking at the water surface going away, gradually sinking to the bottom. I'm sorry, Obito. Didn't protect our agreement. Lin, I didn't protect her, and now use your eyes to record this world for you. It seems that's the end of it. While watching the movie, Kakashi looked at the image with obsession and self-harm. There are Obito, Lin, and Minato Sensei. Kakashi, don't give up hope. Although Namikaze Minato in Ghost State said this, as Kakashi's teacher, he knew best how Kakashi, the youngest child in Kakashi's class, survived after Obito and Lin died one after another. Kakashi, who was watching the movie, looked at the image with an almost dull and yearning expression on his face. Minato Sensei is gone. Lin is gone. Obito is gone too. Now I can finally go to your side. This is Kakashi's most relaxed sentence in this video. I just didn't expect that Kakashi watched the movie with his eyes wide open. What did he see? Uchiha Obito. B. The man in that image is a Kakashi looked at the image of his other future self meeting Itachi Sakumo. Kakashi. In the image, the man wearing the uniform of Konoha Genin, with sleeves similar to those of a god robe on his arms, did not turn his head, but he knew it was Kakashi who was coming. Who is this person? Naruto asked this Genin's question. The third Hokage stared at the image. Sakumo, are you still there? In the consciousness of the child Kakashi, he was worried about him. He suddenly had a thought. Where is Minato? Where is Kushina? Could it be that she is still in Naruto's consciousness, watching the child grow up? White Fang, Jiraiya, and Tsunade stared at the man in the image. That's one of the best ninjas in Konoha. Even their Sannin is a head shorter Konoha's White Fang. Naruto held up Jiraiya's gown, Haroezanin, who is Konoha's White Fang. Kakashi, he is my father. They have never heard Mr. Kakashi mention their father. Judging from the demeanor of Master Third Hokage, he seems to be a great person who is not inferior to Hokage. After all, he was the one who killed me and my wife. Although I can't say that I don't hate him, Itachi Sakumo is indeed a powerful ninja. In this regard, Akasaka gave a high evaluation. I think Konoha today, there are not many people who can win against him. Then he said with some regret, after his resurrection, I asked about the situation of Konoha's White Fang and learned the cause of his death. Honestly, I feel like a joke. Kakashi Sensei's father died like a joke? What does this mean? Chapter 160 Naruto's Choice. The protagonists of the next era become wild. Naruto looked around, trying to get an answer, but he found that everyone avoided his eyes, not wanting to mention the death of Konoha's White Fang. Why on earth? Naruto felt something was wrong. Grandpa Hokage. Third Hokage took out the pipe from his mouth and sighed. When a Hokage lasted for decades, White Fang, Minato, Hisashi died, Dan and many other outstanding ninjas died during his reign. The regret and sadness in this are self-evident. When it comes to White Fang's death, it's no wonder Chisha has such an evaluation. The third Hokage glanced at Kakashi as if asking for advice. When the other person lowered his head and acquiesced, he told Naruto Konoha's White Fang was originally a hero almost on par with Konoha's Golden Flash. Naruto was stunned. And Golden Flash, yes, that's your father, fourth Hokage. Naruto, then what? How did Konoha's White Fang die? Suicide. Kakashi suddenly said, my father committed suicide. The Genin nearby were stunned. A man who is as good as the fourth Hokage committed suicide. What's going on? Uzumaki Naruto looked shocked. Suicide means dash. Kakashi felt lonely. A ninja who committed suicide during a non-mission is not even qualified to go to the commemorative monument. Because the important mission failed, the village suffered great losses. I'm afraid of guilt. I don't understand. Naruto shouted. What kind of loss needs to be compensated with human life? Or, he turned away very unhappy. He is still the same hero as fourth Hokage, I said. You are such a naive brat. The speaker was a masked man, and he said, where there is light, there will be shadows. You only see the light side, but you never see the dark shadow. What on earth do you want to say? Naruto's straight personality is not suitable for listening to such roundabout words. To be precise, he can't understand it. Tisk, the masked man, said, it's nothing. No matter how powerful the ninja or the hero of the ninja village is, he is nothing more than lust after death, and nothing else. When asked again, the masked man said nothing. Namake's Minato, standing here in a ghostly posture, has been staring at the masked man from a long time ago. The man who killed Kushina and released Nine Tails actually has many suspicious things pointing directly to one person. The Uchiha boy who had the Hokage dream, who died at Canopy Bridge. Obito, could it really be you? If it is you, then what have you experienced? Naruto won't give up until he gets the answer here. And Kakashi doesn't want to say more. After all, it involves a lot of secrets and darkness of the ninja village. The third Hokage feels that there is nothing that cannot be mentioned now, and this matter has been spread in other ninja villages for a long time. It is not like the people of Konoha don't know about it. White Fang is an excellent ninja, but it was a time of war, Sarutobi Hiruzen said. In an important mission, White Fang faced a difficult choice. What difficult choice? The three people in Class 7 and this Genin were full of curiosity. The third Hokage looked serious. Abandon the mission or give up the companions. 10 Genin suddenly looked embarrassed. Abandon the mission or give up the companions. Kakashi said solemnly. That's right. According to the rules of the ninja's heart, if it is an important task, the first choice as a ninja should be the task. For some reason, all the Genin felt disappointed at this time. But Kakashi changed the topic and repeated the sentence again. Those who don't follow the rules are trash, but those who don't know how to value their peers are worse trash than those. The masked man is very familiar with this sentence because it is what Uchiha Obito once said, not long before Uchiha Obito's death. Jiraiya patted Kakashi on the shoulder and agreed with his words. The brat who followed Minato back, then has finally grown up, Naruto. So how were Konoha's White Fang selected? He chose his teammates. The Genin immediately relaxed, with joy on their faces, and whispered to each other, this is the right thing. It's great. But after a turning point came the cruel reality. The mission failed, causing the village to suffer huge losses. It started with accusations from villagers and other ninjas. Then even the rescued companions complained about him. In the end, White Fang could no longer bear the rumors and chose to end her life at home. The smiles on all Genin's faces froze. This turn of events was too fast for them to adapt to. A hero who is on par with the fourth Hokage actually died due to rumors. Doesn't this look like a joke to people from outside the village? Rumors. Those looks in isolation were what Naruto was most familiar with, and what almost crushed Sasuke in recent days. Well, Kakashi rubbed Naruto and Sasuke's heads. This was a long time ago. The rules will change with the times, and the future era belongs to you. Era, second Hokage said. Yes, the dark times will eventually pass. Whether we can usher in the light is your choice. Uzumaki Mito. When Tobirama and I lived, hundreds of clans in the ninja world were enemies of each other. There was no system of one country and one village. Nobles and daimyo could exploit ninjas at will, and even easily start wars for fun. So, Naruto, what will be your choice in the next era? Third Hokage asked. Naruto was silent for a long time, and when he raised his head again, he commented on the matter. If it is smart to choose to complete the mission and abandon your companions, then I would rather be a fool for the rest of my life. I will never give up on my companions, let alone betray them. If you want to ask why, because I am Konoha's ninja Uzumaki Naruto. This inspiring oath is always accidentally broken by some people. No matter which pot is not opened, there will always be Ya and Kankuro. The two of them actually said at this moment. No wonder the Sasuke in the image still belongs to the Konoha Genin and not the Konoha Rebel Ninja. The feeling is because you don't give up on your companions. Itachi tried his best to save the situation. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Sasuke, no one can save this situation. You. Sasuke opened Sharingan. That's in the memory. I haven't defected yet. Puff. Hearing Mikoto's laughter, Sasuke's originally pale face began to turn red. Then people laughed one after another from all around. There are many ninjas and Konoha villagers who have criticized the White Fang. The topic just now made them reflect, or White Fang's death had already given them the opportunity to reflect. And Uzumaki Naruto, the boy they blamed, ostracized, and isolated even more, could grow into such an outstanding ninja now and in the future. And he is also the son of their great hero, the fourth Hokage. It's like teaching him a lesson all over again. In the video, Grandma Chio of Sand Shinobi Village is right in this ninja world that has gradually decayed. It is really a joy to witness the growth of these children. If they are here, they will definitely change the decadence of the ninja world and create a different era. Return to the image, Sakumo. Kakashi, can you tell me your stories over the years? In the image, Hatake Sakumo, also known as Konoha's White Fang, is sitting in front of the campfire, calling his son to come to him. Whether it is Kakashi in the video or Kakashi watching the movie at this moment, it has been nearly 20 years since he last saw his father. Well, let me tell you, Dad, Kakashi in the video actually looks like a child acting like a spoiled child to his father. It's like the child who was a stinker but was very sensible in front of his father when he was a child, telling all the happy and painful things about himself over the years. Uchiha Obito looked at the image and suddenly felt like the real world was back. Stinky, stupid Kakashi, the hero of Konoha, Hatake Sakumo, and Lin and Mr. Minato. Teacher, speaking of Namake's Minato who was killed by him, Uchiha Obito, who had just taken off the mask of Madara, quickly put the mask back on again. Now he seems to be torn apart by two personalities, not multiple personalities. Madara's personality tells him that he should execute the Eye of the Moon. As long as he completes Project Tsukinomi, the people he cherishes can return to him. In the world he created full of love and peace, the war will end and he will fulfill his agreement with Lin. And Obito's personality reminds him that there is too much wrong with this matter. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are hiding many things from him, and Madara is by no means a person who dreams of peace. In the video, Tsunade saw Kakashi through the message from Katsu, the silver-haired ninja, whose life was full of twists and turns, was caught in the ruins and calmly breathed his last. Seeing this scene, the entire viewing area in Konoha was silent, and a kind of silent negativity almost overwhelmed everyone. Kakashi-sensei. It was Sakura who spoke, her voice drawing the others to look at Kakashi. Then Kakashi saw surprised faces. He smiled and asked everyone, how? Before he could finish his words, he found that a liquid called tears was flowing out of his left Sharingan. Kakashi lowered his head and was silent for a while, then turned to look at the masked man. However, at this moment, the masked man had his back turned to him to watch the image. Besides, with the mask around, no one could see his emotions clearly. B. Uzumaki Mito. Your chakra is so sad that he's about to cry. You're so noisy, shut up, or I'll kill you. It was still Uchiha Madara's voice. Mito sighed and left while saying, how many years do you think Tobirama 130 and I have known Madara? The masked man didn't reply. In the video, after hearing the news of Kakashi's death, Tsunade used a punch to blow away a boulder to vent the pain in his heart, and then force himself to calm down to continue arranging every step of the battle. Chai, who came back to report, seemed calm and reported everything about Tendo Pain to 5th Hokage. Even when reporting the death of his father dings Tsunade, "Go back to your father immediately and send him to the medical force." That means that, and out of the video, 16-year-old Akimichi Chai and 13-year-old Akimichi Chai both stared blankly at 5th Hokage in the video. Tsunade gave an affirmative answer. Well, there is still salvation. The fat boy in the image can no longer pretend to be mature and calm, and tears rolled down his face. But after crying with joy, when I asked about Mr. Kakashi, all I got was 5th Hokage, turning around in pain. Before the image disappears, the last scene touches people's hearts. The broken Konoha is littered with the corpses of companions who lived together day and night. A silver-haired corpse was squeezed in the ruins, gradually becoming cold in the wind. It was Kakashi. Kakashi, who was watching the movie, said deliberately, "Well, I have to watch this image a few times. My corpse doesn't look very good." Teacher Kakashi, please be more serious. Little Sakura angrily educated her tutor. Kakashi was speechless. Pen. The masked man finally spoke the first words after the video. His voice was still that of Uchiha Madara, full of displeasure and threats. Are you planning to act without permission? Yet, Pain. According to the content in the video, we should ignore any consequences when collecting tailed beasts so that the world can fully understand pain, so that people can understand the value of peace. That's true in Chapter 11. But Obito still has an unknown fire burning in his chest. Just at this moment, the terrifying metallic sound appeared again. Question. Everyone was stunned, thinking, after watching Pain kill Kakashi, isn't it time to watch the masked man kill the white tiger of Akatsuki? Why is there another problem? Chapter 161 Horror Q&A Reward 1. 600 billion detonating talismans. And it seems that it is still a familiar question and answer question. Why is there a vague illusion that the other one has been suppressed? Because although horror quizzes are relatively dangerous, in fact, in most cases, the other party's rewards are more tempting. Moreover, the one who resurrected the people who died within an hour with one hand also resurrected the people who were killed by another question, which also made everyone have a little fondness for the horror question. I even suddenly felt that this question and answer question was a lot more friendly, but I was still more nervous. Question. Konoha Elder Shimura Dans requested, what is the main purpose of not allowing Jin to participate in the rescue? The people of Konoha were all shocked. No, the whole world was shocked. That's it. That's it. Can you still be a ninja village elder? Also, isn't the 60th year of Trapped Leaf now? Was the Konoha collapse plan? Speaking of it, I have always had a question. Why did Tsunade-sama become the 5th Hokage? What about the 3rd generation project? Where did the 3rd Hokage-sama go? As Shimura Dan's teacher, 2nd Hokage, Senju Tobarama, stood there expressionless. No one else knew how angry he was. But the 3rd Hokage's regret can be seen from their expressions, and the other 2 consultants who have been siding with Danzo look ashamed and angry at Danzo's ignorance. Rows of words appeared on the floor in front of everyone. Except for the previous Ninja World Q&A, it was the first time for several ninja villages to experience this kind of Q&A, which is considered a tradition for Konoha. Before they asked, Senju Tobarama immediately made the stop talking gesture common in the ninja world. The ninjas who can follow to participate in the 5 Shadows Conference are the elites of each village. At least they have completed many A-level or even S-level missions and participated in the backbone of the Ninja Village War. The early warning of the sense of crisis has been imprinted on their reflex nerves. When they saw this stop talking gesture, they immediately closed their mouths and looked at the words on the ground. Rule 1. There are 3 opportunities, and all life forms in the field are eligible to answer. 2. Life forms that answer incorrectly will be deprived of their vital signs immediately as punishment. 3. After the 3 independent living beings were deprived of their vital signs, This Q&A ended and the domain barrier opened automatically. 4. If you answer the correct answer within the opportunity, the domain barrier will automatically open, and the answer will receive corresponding rewards. They use their own chakra to feel it, and they only went 100 meters away from the viewing area at most. Award. Reward 1. 600 billion detonating symbols. When stacked together, they can form a cube of nearly 100 meters. When all detonated, they can explode continuously for more than 10 minutes. Its power is equivalent to thousands of nuclear bombs, let alone Konoha shinobi and ordinary villagers. Even the shadows of each village are put to shame. As a shadow, I'm really sorry for being so ignorant. I have never heard of this formation. 600 billion detonating symbols. How much money does this require? This reward alone can save a lot of money for the village's finances. TSK, I have to say that Konoha is really lucky and unfortunate. There's a guy like Shimura Dans who succeeds but fails. But there are so many outstanding young people. Even the horror quiz favors them. It is estimated that they will get this reward in all likelihood. After all, others don't know Danzo's purpose. How can the third Hokage and the advisory group not know it? The other village representative ninjas were not satisfied yet. And then the metallic voice of the scary question and answer sounded. Reward 2. Corresponding to the respondent's power, a dead ninja is randomly selected, resurrected. Bring the dead back to life. Resurrection of the dead. They take a look at the second Hokage, who has not only been resurrected, but his strength has returned to its peak. Even a tough guy like Fourth Raikage has to squeeze out lemon juice. I'm so jealous. Jealous. Hey, is Konoha going to heaven? It seems that I can only concentrate on thinking about the answer to the question. What is Danzo's purpose? No rescue was arranged during the 2 major crises in the ninja village. How worthy is he of the ninja village elder for such a debilitating behavior? He curled his lips. Even people from several other villages didn't have a good impression of Shimura Dans. Not to mention the people of Konoha, the Nine Tails Rebellion 12 years ago. It was Shimura Dans and his group who placed all the blame on Uchiha. But through the video, they found out that it was not Uchiha who did not go to the rescue, but Danzo, who was afraid of their high power, guessed that they were the masterminds behind the scenes, and asked the Uchiha chief to lead Uchiha as a logistician and not allowed to participate in the war. Then they saw the 4th Hokage fighting Nine Tails on the battlefield. They saw so many companions sacrificed. Even the 3rd generation and the other 2 elders put on their battle uniforms to join the battle. But no one has seen the Genin, and no one has seen Danzo. And in the video, pain is no less terrifying than Nine Tails. Danzo not only requested that the Nine Tails Jinchuriki be hidden, but was not swayed by the Hokages or to kill the toad on Mount Maiboku without authorization. When the time of war really came, he hid his head but showed his tail. Many Konoha shinobi fans have turned their attention to 3rd generation and 2 other consultants. Use your eyes to ask them to tell you the answer. They probably don't know what Danzo's purpose is. But these 3 must know it after all. Sarutobi Hiruzen lowered his head. He was still struggling. Danzo's purpose. When he was assassinated by the Genin, when he was traveling, and when he saw Danzo sitting in Hokage's seat when he came back, he knew what Danzo wanted. Danzo is not suitable for the Hokage position. If he were, Teacher Tobirama would have given him the position instead of himself. But he didn't want to say these words openly to others. Danzo is an elder of Konoha and the gloomy leader of Gen. But for him, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo is also his companion. In the early days of Konoha, they grew up together under the guidance of Shodai and Nidame. After Nidame left, it was these companions who accompanied him and assisted him in laying the foundation stone for the future governance of Konoha. They were sad about Fengfeng's death and Jing's death together, and drank together all night long. After getting drunk, he crawled under the table, opened the cupboard, and lifted the tatami in an attempt to find his hiding companion and drink together. Unable to find anyone, they went to the Senju mansion in the middle of the night to drink and go crazy, hoping to meet Mr. Second Generation and Mr. Tobirama. But they only got Mito-sama, one Uzumaki monster fist each, and then admonished them, telling them that Hashirama-sensei is dead, Tobirama-sensei is dead, Tofu is dead, Kagami is dead. There are only 4 of them left in the Hokage class: Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Dans, Mitokado Hamura, and Yuditane Koharu. What? You can't say it? Then let me tell you. The masked man said in a teasing voice. What that guy Danzo wants. Isn't he the position of Hokage? Hokage position. Everyone was stunned and even subconsciously did not believe the masked man, thinking that this was his instigation of discord. However, when they heard that metallic voice again, they remembered correct answer. There's no excuse. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath from his pipe, blew out the smoke, and remained silent. The 2 consultants pretended to be surprised, not knowing how much of it was true or false. Senju Tobirama's crimson narrow eyes glanced at them. Hiruzen. Teacher Tobirama. Facing Senju Tobirama, 3rd Hokage, certainly did not dare to call himself old man and waited obediently for Senju Tobirama's teachings. Before Sarutobi Hiruzen, first is the Hokage. Just listen to the person on the other side say, as a ninja and as a Hokage, you need to have feelings, but you must not let feelings affect your judgment. You were obviously more decisive when you were young. 3rd Hokage said in a deep and ashamed voice. It's Teacher Tobirama. The 2nd generation nodded. We'll talk about Danzo later. Let's wait for that kid to get the reward first. Everyone felt a little bit subtle. They always felt that Master 2nd generation not only knew the identity of the masked man, but also didn't have much hostility towards him. What exactly is going on? The masked man, Uchiha Obito, also vaguely felt this subtle difference. 2nd Hokage, Dash. Before he finished speaking, the metallic voice of the horror quiz came again. Please be prepared. Reward will be distributed soon. Postponed. 600 billion detonating symbols. What? Chapter 162 Horror Quiz Reward 2. People resurrected by impure world reincarnation Uchiha Obito. Oh no, it's the man who is nobody, who is very broken at this moment. Even though he was well prepared, he never expected that the 600 billion detonating talisman would be smashed out to him in such a solid manner. Even if it's just paper, that's also 600 billion pieces. Let's not talk about whether it will explode. Even if you hit it, you will kill someone. But it unlocks my Kamui space. Kamui space has been unlocked. When a metallic sound appeared next to his ears, Obito almost cursed. I subconsciously want to use the ability to penetrate, but look at Uzumaki Naruto's side. Uchiha Masked Man Obito snorted angrily and opened the Kamui space in his right eye. The problem is, there are 600 billion detonating charms. It takes a while to inhale, but it fell down too fast. Seeing that the masked man was about to be buried by 600 billion detonating talismans, worried that the detonating talisman would detonate, 3rd Tsuchikage finally took action. Earth-style, light, heavy rock technique. Almost at the same time, the light and heavy rock technique acting on the 600 billion detonating charms took effect, floating in the air and giving the masked man enough time to absorb them. Hey. Zabuza had never seen the previous image of 763, so he didn't know who the masked man was, but the 600 billion detonating talisman was enough for him to make another coup. Tsuchikage's old man, you just let him take away the 600 billion detonating charms like this? And this man's eyes are bottomless pits, right? Kakashi didn't know whether he was explaining to the masked man or explaining to Zabuza. Well, he answered correctly anyway. If you have to fight him, what if he detonates one of the detonators? Phew, the whole Konoha will be blown up. Zabuza, then you are not afraid that he will use 600 billion detonating talismans to deal with Konoha? Don't worry, said Senju Tobirama of 2nd generation. My tandem paper bombs are more powerful than this. Tandem paper bombs, one of the ninjutsu developed by me, which uses a single spell to summon more detonating symbols in an infinite loop. 1 leads to 4 leads to 16, and the square of 16 means that 256 detonating symbols will be summoned. By analogy, summoning out trillions of detonating symbols. Triggers a continuous cycle of explosions. Senju Tobarama said, "This is a ninjutsu I developed to control the impure world reincarnation. Once the target of impure world reincarnation is out of control, the endless detonating symbols will always follow the target and continue to explode, never ending." Mito Tobarama, did you report this technique to your elder brother? Second Hokage said angrily, "I was put in the sealed book by my eldest brother." Everyone, sure enough. When a group of people were at Forbidden Technique in Holuin, the masked man finally managed to get the reward. Conan even said something that I don't know if it was a joke. Kakuzu will be very happy when he sees it. The masked man didn't know what to say. After the last 100 million detonating talismans were collected, the weird metallic sound continued. Please claim reward too. Puff. As expected, another slot machine sprang up according to the old rules. A man who is no one. The slot machine starts spinning, and the horror quiz tells the rules. Please pull the lever next to the machine to draw. The time limit is 30 seconds. If it times out, the reward will be forfeited. A man who is nobody. Countdown starts. 30, 29, 28. When the masked man didn't know how to react to this farce, Kakashi explained thoughtfully, 30 seconds is too tight. I don't have time to use Sharingan to accurately calculate who will be resurrected after pressing the lever. It's better to rely on luck. Bar. Did I ask you? The masked man said in a bad tone, using Uchiha Madara's voice. You. Naruto was about to get angry when Kakashi held him down with a hand. Kakashi said in a very considerate tone, "Oh, I'm sorry. Just think I'm talking to myself." Humph. Mind your own business. The metallic voice read the seconds without any slack. 19, 18, 17. The masked man walked to the slot machine and pushed the lever of the slot machine almost out of vent. The photos in the slot machine slowed down one by one. Everyone in Konoha was surprised when they saw the photo, and then other village ninjas who discovered the problem also discovered something was wrong. Because most of the photos in the slot machine are of Konoha's dead ninja. This means that the masked man must have been from Konoha. Namake's Minato opened his eyes wide, feeling unbelievable about this situation. He thought about many possibilities and thought that the most likely possibility of the masked man was Uchiha Madara, but no, it won't be Obito. He comforted himself. Uchiha Madara was once a part of Konoha. Even if he betrayed the village later, there is still a possibility of being classified as a Konoha shinobi by the horrible questions and answers. Zabuza, Loquat Juzo, Uchiha Itachi, it's Loquat Juzo. In the rotating photos in the slot machine, they also saw members of the Akatsuki organization. The former Akatsuki Nanto, Loquat Juzo, who died while protecting his teammate Uchiha Itachi in the battle with 4th Mizukichi. Bang! A cloud of smoke. Everyone thought it was when the ninja from Kirigakure, the Kingdom of Water, was selected for resurrection. Slot machines.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.